Hey everyone, tonight we're jumping into a super cool world. It's the life of medieval peasants, full of amazing sights, sounds, and stories. And guess what? These people had some of the best sleep ever. This isn't just boring history. You'll smell the fresh straw, feel the chilly night breeze, and walk in the shoes of folks who worked hard under big, open skis. Before we begin, press the like button if you love fun adventures. Also, hit subscribe to get more videos like this. Oh, and leave a comment telling me where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, turn down the lights, get cozy, and let's step into the world of medieval peasants. We're not just learning facts. We're feeling the beat of their days, their dreams, and the awesome quiet of their rest. Okay, let's paint a picture. Imagine you're in a tiny village hundreds of years ago. It's called the medieval times, around the years 1000 to 1500. The world looks so different from today. There are no cars, no phones, no electric lights. Instead, there are dirt paths, wooden houses, and fields stretching far and wide. People here are peasants. That means they work hard on the land, growing food and taking care of animals. Their lives are tough, but they find joy in simple things. And their sleep. Oh, it's like a warm hug at the end of a long day. Let's start with where you are. You're standing in a small village. Around you are houses made of wood and mud, with roofs covered in straw. These houses are called cottages. They're not big like modern homes. Most have just one room where everyone eats, works, and sleeps. The air smells like smoke from fires burning inside to keep warm. You hear chickens clucking, cows mooing, and maybe a dog barking. The village is alive, buzzing with people starting their day. Now imagine the sky above. It's early morning and the sun is just peeking up. The air feels cool and a little damp. You take a deep breath and it smells like grass, dirt, and maybe some flowers growing nearby. This is the world of peasants. It's not fancy, but it's full of life. Every day, people here wake up, work hard, and then rest deeply. Their sleep is special because it's earned. After a day of digging in fields or carrying heavy buckets, their bodies are ready to sink into a soft pile of straw and drift away. Let's talk about who these peasants are. They're regular people like you and me, but living in a very different time. Most of them farm the land. They grow things like wheat, barley, and vegetables. They also raise animals like pigs, sheep, and chickens. Their work feeds the whole village, and even the rich lords who live in big houses called manors. Peasants don't have much money. They trade things like eggs or cloth to get what they need. Life is simple, but it's not easy. Why is their sleep so great? Well, think about it. These folks work outside all day. They dig in the dirt, carry heavy stuff, and walk everywhere. By nighttime, they're super tired. Their bodies crave rest. They don't have bright screens or loud noises keeping them awake. Instead, they have the quiet of the night, maybe the sound of wind or a crackling fire. They sleep on straw mats or simple beds, cozy under wool blankets. The dark, peaceful village helps them fall into a deep, happy sleep. Let's imagine you're one of these peasants for a moment. You wake up in your cottage. The floor is made of dirt, packed down hard. Your bed is a pile of straw with a blanket on top. It's not soft like a modern mattress, but it feels good after a long day. You hear birds chirping outside. The air is chilly, so you pull your blanket tighter for a minute before getting up. You're ready to start your day, but you know that tonight you'll sleep like a rock. The village around you is busy. People are already moving. Some are heading to the fields with tools like hoes or sickles. Others are feeding animals or fetching water from a well. Everyone has a job to do. Kids help too, carrying small baskets or chasing chickens. It's a team effort. This hard work is what makes their sleep so amazing. When you're tired from running around all day, doesn't it feel awesome to flop into bed? That's how peasants feel every night. Now let's think about the sounds of this world. Close your eyes for a second. You hear the wind rustling through trees. There's a creak as someone opens a wooden gate. A cow moos in the distance. Maybe a baby is crying in a nearby cottage. These sounds are soft and natural. They're not like the loud cars or buzzing phones we hear today. At night, the village gets even quieter. The only sounds might be crickets or an owl hooting. This calm helps peasants relax and sleep deeply. What about the smells? Take another deep breath. You smell the fire burning in your cottage. It's a warm, smoky scent. Outside, there's the fresh smell of grass and dirt. If someone's baking bread, you might catch a whiff of that too. These smells are part of everyday life. They make the village feel like home. When peasants lay down at night, these familiar scents help them feel safe and cozy, ready for sleep. Let's explore the village a bit more. You step outside your cottage. The ground is muddy in some spots, so you watch your step. You're wearing simple clothes, a tunic made of wool and sturdy shoes. They're not fancy, but they keep you warm. You see other people walking around. Some carry baskets of vegetables. Others lead goats or sheep. Everyone's busy, but they smile or wave as they pass. This is a community. People help each other, and that teamwork makes life and sleep better. The fields are a big part of this world. They're all around the village, stretching out like a green and brown patchwork quilt. Peasants spend most of their day here planting seeds, pulling weeds, or harvesting crops. The work is hard, your back aches and your hands get dirty, but it's important. The food you grow keeps everyone alive. After a day in the fields, your body feels heavy. That's why sleep feels so good. It's like a reward for all your effort. Let's talk about the night. When the sun goes down, the village changes. The sky turns dark blue, then black, sprinkled with stars. There are no streetlights, so it's really dark. People light candles or small fires to see inside their cottages, but most don't stay up late. They're too tired. They eat a simple meal, maybe some bread and soup, then get ready for bed. The quiet of the night wraps around them like a blanket, pulling them into sleep. The sleep in medieval times was different from today. Did you know peasants sometimes slept twice a night? It's true, they'd sleep for a few hours, wake up for a bit, then sleep again. This was called biphasic sleep. During that awake time, they might pray, talk, or do small chores by candlelight. Then they'd go back to sleep until morning. This split sleep helped them feel rested, even if their beds were simple. Let's imagine bedtime in a cottage. You're lying on your straw mat. The blanket is warm and the fire has died down to glowing embers. Outside, the village is silent except for the soft hoot of an owl. You close your eyes and your body feels heavy from the day's work. Your mind is calm, no worries about emails or homework. You drift off, sinking into a deep, peaceful sleep. This is why peasants slept so well. Their lives were hard, but their rest was pure. Now let's think about why this matters. The way peasants lived shows us something special. They worked with their hands, lived close to nature, and rested when the day was done. Today we have comfy beds and cozy houses, but we don't always sleep as well. Why? Maybe it's because we're busy with screens, lights, and noise. Peasants didn't have those distractions. Their world was simpler and their sleep was a gift. Let's take a closer look at a peasant's day. You wake up early just as the sky turns pink. You eat a quick breakfast, maybe a piece of bread and some cheese, then you head out to work. If you're a farmer, you're in the fields, digging or planting. If you're a woman, you might be spinning wool or baking bread. Kids help too, carrying water or gathering eggs. The whole village works together like a big team. The weather matters a lot in this world. If it rains, the fields get muddy and work is harder. If it's sunny, crops grow better and everyone's happy. Peasants watch the sky all the time. They know when a storm is coming or when it's time to harvest. This connection to nature makes their lives feel grounded. At night, when they lie down, the rhythm of the day, work, weather, rest, helps them sleep soundly. Let's talk about food for a minute. Peasants don't have supermarkets. They grow or raise almost everything they eat. Their meals are simple: bread, porridge, vegetables like cabbage or onions, and sometimes a bit of meat. They drink ale or water. Food is precious because it takes so much work to grow. When they sit down to eat, they're thankful. A full belly at the end of the day makes sleep even better. The church is a big part of village life. It's not just a building, it's the heart of the community. People go there to pray, celebrate, or mourn. The church tells them about God and the afterlife. This gives them hope even when life is hard. At night, they might say a prayer before bed. This calms their minds, helping them slip into sleep with a sense of peace. Let's imagine a market day. Once a week, the village gets extra busy. People come from nearby to trade. You bring a basket of eggs to swap for a new pot. You hear merchants shouting about their goods, cloth, tools, or spices. The market is loud and colorful, with people laughing and bargaining. After a day like this, you're tired but happy. You go home, eat, and fall asleep with a smile. Kids in the village have fun even though they work hard. They play games like tag or hide and seek. Sometimes they make toys from sticks or stones. These moments of joy make the village feel alive. When kids go to bed, they're tired from running around. Their sleep is deep, filled with dreams of the day's adventures. Let's think about animals. The village is full of them: cows, pigs, chickens, and more. They're not just pets. They give food like milk or eggs and help with work like pulling plows. Taking care of animals is a big job. When peasants finish their chores and lie down at night, the soft sounds of animals settling in their barns add to the calm. The seasons change the village a lot. In spring, everyone's planting seeds. In summer, they're weeding and watering. Fall is for harvesting, and winter is quieter with less work outside. Each season has its own rhythm. Sleep changes too. In winter, nights are longer, so people sleep more. This connection to the seasons makes their rest feel natural. Let's talk about family. Peasants live with their parents, siblings, or kids in one cottage. Everyone helps out. Grandparents tell stories, parents work, and kids learn. At night, the family gathers around the fire, talking or singing. Then they all sleep close together, sharing warmth. This closeness makes sleep feel safe and comforting. Sometimes life is scary. There might be a bad harvest and food runs low, or a sickness spreads through the village. But peasants are strong. They face these challenges together. At night, sleep is a way to escape worries. They trust that tomorrow will bring new hope, and that faith helps them rest. Let's imagine a festival. A few times a year, the village throws a big party. Maybe it's a harvest feast or a saint's day. People dance, sing, and eat special foods. There's music from simple instruments like flutes. Everyone forgets their troubles for a night. After the fun, they go home and sleep deeply, their hearts full of joy. The lord of the village is important. He owns the land and makes rules. Peasants work for him, giving him part of their crops. Sometimes the lord is kind. Other times he's strict. This power shapes the village. At night, peasants sleep knowing they've done their duties. That sense of order helps them relax. Let's think about tools. Peasants use simple things like hoes, sickles, or spinning wheels. These tools are made by hand, often passed down through families. Using them feels good because it's creating something: food, cloth, or a home. After a day of work, peasants feel proud. That pride carries into their sleep, making it sweet. The stars are a big deal in this world. At night, the sky is clear and you see thousands of twinkling lights. Peasants look up and feel small but connected to something bigger. This wonder stays with them as they close their eyes. Their sleep is filled with dreams of the sky and the world beyond. Let's talk about stories. In the evenings, families sit by the fire. Someone might tell a tale about a brave knight or a clever fox. These stories are fun, but they also teach lessons. Kids listen, wide-eyed, then go to bed with their imaginations buzzing. Stories make sleep more magical. The village has dangers too. Wolves might prowl nearby, or a fire could start in a cottage. Peasants stay alert, but they don't let fear take over. At night, they lock their doors and trust their neighbors. This safety helps them sleep without worry. Let's imagine winter. The air is cold and snow covers the ground. Work slows down and people stay inside more. They mend clothes or fix tools by the fire. Nights are long and sleep feels extra cozy. The quiet of winter wraps the village in peace, making rest deep and warm. Now, trade is another big part of life. Peasants don't have much money, but they barter. You might trade a sack of grain for a pair of shoes. This trading builds trust between people. After a day of fair deals, peasants sleep with a sense of fairness and community. Let's think about health. If someone gets sick, there's no doctor like today. Instead, a wise woman might give herbs or say a prayer. Healing takes time, but sleep helps. Peasants believe rest mends the body. When they're sick, they sleep even more, letting their bodies fix themselves. The church bells ring every day. They call people to pray or mark time. The sound is familiar, like a friend's voice. At night, the final bell signals bedtime. This rhythm helps peasants feel steady and they slip into sleep easily, guided by the bells. Let's imagine a summer night. The air is warm and the cottage door is open to let in a breeze. You lie on your straw mat, hearing crickets outside. The day was long, but you're content. Your body is tired, your heart is full, and sleep comes like a soft wave carrying you away. This world of peasants is so different from ours, but it teaches us something. Their lives were hard, but their sleep was a treasure. They worked, loved, and rested in a way that felt natural. Today, we can learn from them. Maybe if we spend more time outside, work with our hands, or turn off our screens, we'll sleep better too. Let's wrap up this introduction. You've stepped into a village full of life, muddy paths, busy fields, cozy cottages, and starry skis. You've felt the heartbeat of peasants, their days of work and their nights of rest. Their sleep was special because it was earned, simple, and tied to the world around them. As we go deeper into their story, you'll see more of their lives, their joys, struggles, and dreams. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe so you don't miss the next part, and leave a comment telling me where you're watching from and what time it is. Maybe you're cozy in bed, ready to sleep like a medieval peasant. Now get comfy, dim the lights, and let's keep exploring this amazing world together. Until next time, keep dreaming and seeking stories that spark your imagination. You open your eyes to the gentle clucking of chickens. Somewhere far off, a cow moos softly. The air smells like wet dirt and the smoky scent of a fire that burned all night. You're in a tiny house made of mud and sticks called a wattle-and daub cottage. It's small and a bit chilly, with air sneaking through tiny gaps in the walls. But outside, the world is waking up. You grab a scratchy wool shirt, its rough threads rubbing your skin, and step out into the village. Muddy paths twist between houses with straw roofs. Pigs poke their noses in the dirt, and people carry buckets or piles of sticks. This isn't just a place, it's alive, buzzing with energy, like a big heartbeat pushing everyone to keep going. The sky is turning pink as the sun starts to rise. You're in a medieval village, a time long ago, around the years 1000 to 1500. No cars zoom by, no phones beep, and no bright lights shine. Instead, the world is full of natural sounds and smells. You take a deep breath. The air feels cool and a little damp, like after a rainy night. It smells like grass, mud, and maybe a hint of bread baking in a nearby house. This is where peasants live, regular people who work hard to grow food and care for animals. Their days are busy, and their world is simple but full of life. Your cottage is cozy but not fancy. The walls are made of sticks woven together, covered with a mix of mud, straw, and even cow poop to keep them strong. The floor is just dirt, packed down hard from years of walking. Your bed is a pile of straw with a wool blanket on top. It's not soft like a modern bed, but it feels good when you're tired. A small fire pit sits in the middle of the room, its ashes still warm from last night. The smoke curls up and escapes through a hole in the straw roof. This one room is where you sleep, eat, and live with your family. You stretch and yawn, feeling the cool morning air on your face. The chickens outside are getting louder, scratching in the dirt for bugs. You hear a dog bark and the creak of a wooden gate swinging open. Someone's already up, maybe heading to the fields or checking on the animals. You peek through a tiny window, just a hole in the wall with a wooden shutter. The village is starting to move. People walk along the paths, their shoes squishing in the mud. A woman carries a basket of eggs. A man pulls a cart full of firewood. Kids run by, laughing as they chase each other. You slip on your clothes. The wool shirt, called a tunic, is long and loose, reaching your knees. It's not smooth like a t-shirt, it's rough and a little itchy. You also wear thick pants and leather shoes that look like slippers tied with strings. They're sturdy but worn, with patches of dirt from yesterday's work. You don't have a mirror, but you run your fingers through your hair to smooth it. You're ready to step outside and join the village. The path outside your door is soft and squishy from last night's rain. You watch your steps so you don't slip. The houses around you are like yours, small, with straw roofs that look like golden caps. Some have tiny gardens with green herbs or vegetables like cabbage. A pig waddles by, sniffing the ground. You smile because it looks funny, but pigs are important here. They eat scraps and give meat for winter meals. You see smoke rising from other cottages, curling into the sky like little gray ribbons. You walk a few steps and hear more sounds. A baby cries in a house nearby. A hammer bangs as someone fixes a fence. Birds chirp in the trees at the edge of the village. These sounds mix together, making the village feel alive. It's not loud like a city with cars and horns. It's a soft, busy hum like bees in a hive. You feel part of it, like you belong to this big, moving world. The smell of the village is strong. You catch the earthy scent of mud under your feet. There's also the sharp smell of animals. Cows, goats, and chickens all have their own whiff. If you walk past a cottage, you might smell bread or porridge cooking over a fire. These smells make your stomach rumble. You haven't eaten yet, but breakfast is coming soon. For now, you keep walking, taking in the morning. You see people working already. A woman kneels by a stream washing clothes. She scrubs them on a flat stone, splashing water. A man leads a cow to a grassy spot, tying it with a rope so it can eat. Two kids carry sticks to a pile, helping their parents. Everyone has a job, even the little ones. You wave to a neighbor, an old man with a gray beard. He nods back, his hands busy sharpening a tool. This is how the village works. Everyone helps, and together you all survive. The fields are just beyond the houses. They stretch out big and wide like a green and brown blanket. This is where peasants grow food: wheat, barley, and oats for bread and porridge. There are also patches of vegetables like peas and onions. You see people already out there, bending over with tools to dig or pull weeds. Their backs are curved and their hands are dirty. It's hard work, but it's what keeps the village fed. You'll be out there soon, too, helping with the crops. You stop for a moment and look around. The village is surrounded by trees, tall oaks and skinny birches. They sway in the breeze, their leaves rustling. Beyond the trees, there are hills, soft and green. The sky above is clear now, with just a few fluffy clouds. It's beautiful, but it's also important. The weather decides if crops grow or fail. If it rains too much, the fields flood. If it's too dry, plants die. Peasants always watch the sky, hoping for the right balance. You hear a bell ring. It's the church, a stone building at the center of the village. Its bell calls people to pray or marks the time. The sound is clear and loud, echoing over the houses. The church is special. It's where people go to feel close to God. It's also where they celebrate, like at harvest festivals, or say goodbye when someone dies. The bell reminds everyone that the day is moving forward. You know you need to get going, too. You walk toward the well, a stone circle in the middle of the village. This is where people get water. A girl is there, pulling up a bucket with a rope. The water sparkles as it sloshes. She smiles at you, her hands wet from the rope. Water is precious. You use it for drinking, cooking, and washing. Carrying it back to your cottage is heavy work, but it's part of life. You grab a bucket and wait your turn, watching the village hum around you. The animals are everywhere. Chickens peck at the ground, dodging people's feet. A goat chews on a patch of grass, its bell jingling. You see a cat dart across the path, chasing a mouse. These animals aren't just cute, they're part of survival. Chickens give eggs, goats give milk, and cats keep mice away from food. You pat a dog lying near a cottage. It wags its tail, happy to see you. Animals make the village feel warm and busy. You notice the seasons changing. It's spring now, so the ground is soft and new plants are sprouting. In summer, the fields will be green and full. Fall brings harvests, and winter makes everything cold and quiet. Each season changes the village. In spring, everyone's planting seeds. The air smells fresh and the days feel hopeful. You love this time of year because it's like the world is waking up, just like you are right now. You see kids playing near a cottage. They're tossing a ball made of rags. They laugh and shout, their voices bright. Even though they work, kids find time to have fun. They might chase a piglet or climb a tree. You remember doing that when you were younger. Playtime makes the village feel joyful. It's a reminder that life here isn't just work, there's happiness too. You walk past a garden. A woman is picking herbs, mint and rosemary. She puts them in a basket, her fingers green from the leaves. Herbs are used for cooking and medicine. If someone's sick, these plants might help. You like the smell of the garden. It's fresh and clean, different from the muddy paths. Gardens are small but important, adding flavor to meals and health to the village. You hear a cart rumbling. A man pushes it, loaded with hay. He's taking it to the fields to feed animals or cover the ground. Carts are common here. They carry crops, wood, or tools. The wheels creak and the man wipes sweat from his face. You nod to him and he grunts back, focused on his task. Everyone's work connects like pieces of a puzzle, keeping the village strong. You look at the sky again. A bird soars above, its wings flapping. It's a hawk hunting for mice or small birds. Nature is all around. Squirrels scamper up trees. Bees buzz near flowers. These creatures live alongside the village, part of its life. You feel close to them like they're neighbors too. This connection to nature makes the village feel alive and whole. You pass a blacksmith's shop. A man hammers metal, sparks flying. He's making a horseshoe or a tool. The clang of his hammer is loud, but it's a good sound. It means work is happening. The blacksmith is strong, his arms big from years of pounding iron. You watch for a moment, amazed at how he shapes hard metal. His work helps everyone, and you're glad he's here. You smell something sweet. Someone baking bread in an outdoor oven. The oven is round, made of clay with a fire inside. The woman kneads dough, her hands covered in flour. Bread is a big deal. It's what most people eat every day. The smell makes you hungry and you can't wait for breakfast. You know it'll be simple, bread and maybe some cheese, but it'll taste so good. You see a stream running near the village. It's small but clear, bubbling over rocks. People use it to wash or water animals. A boy splashes in it, giggling as he tries to catch a fish with his hands. The stream is like a lifeline, giving the village what it needs. You dip your fingers in the water. It's cold but refreshing. You splash your face, feeling awake and ready for the day. The village has rules. A man called the Lord owns the land. He lives in a big house called a manor up on a hill. Peasants work for him, giving him food or doing tasks. In return, he protects the village. You see his flag flying bright against the sky. It reminds you that he's in charge. You don't see him often, but his rules shape your day. You work hard to follow them, knowing it keeps the village safe. You hear laughter. A group of women stand by a cottage, chatting as they spin wool. They twist it into thread, their fingers quick. This thread will become cloth for clothes or blankets. They talk about their kids, the weather, or a festival coming soon. Their voices are warm and their laughter makes you smile. Community is strong here. People share and help, making life better for everyone. Now you notice the sun is higher now. The morning is moving fast. You need to get to work soon. Maybe you'll head to the fields to plant seeds or check on the animals. Whatever you do, it'll be hard but important. You feel ready though. The village's energy lifts you up. You're part of something bigger and that feels good. You see a horse pulling a plow in a field. A man guides it, shouting to keep the horse moving. Plowing is tough, turning the soil to make it ready for seeds. The horse is strong, its muscles shiny with sweat. You admire it, knowing how much it helps. Animals and people work together here, sharing the load. You pass a small shrine by the path. It's a wooden cross with flowers around it. People stop here to pray or leave small gifts like a stone or a feather. It's a way to say thank you to God or ask for help. You pause for a moment, thinking about your family. You hope they're safe and strong, then you keep walking, feeling a little lighter. You hear a baby goat bleeding. It's tied near a cottage, nibbling grass. Its mother stands nearby, watching. Goats are great. They give milk for cheese and sometimes meat. You pet the baby goat and it bumps your hand, playful. Animals like this make the village feel alive and full of surprises. You see a man fixing a roof. He climbs a ladder, carrying straw to patch a hole. Roofs are made of straw called thatch, and they need fixing after storms. He works carefully, tying the straw with string. A good roof keeps the cottage dry and warm. You're glad people know how to do this. It makes the village stronger. You smell flowers now. A patch of wildflowers grows near the path, purple and yellow blooms. Bees buzz around them, collecting nectar. You pick one flower and tuck it behind your ear. It's a small thing, but it makes you happy. Beauty like this is everywhere in the village, even in the mud and hard work. Now you hear a woman singing. Her voice is soft, coming from a cottage. She's working, maybe sewing or cooking, and the song keeps her going. Music is part of life here. People sing while they work or at festivals. It lifts their spirits. You hum along, feeling the village's warmth wrap around you. Now you see a cart stuck in the mud. Two men push it, grunting as they try to free the wheels. You run over to help, putting your shoulder against the cart. Together you push and it moves. The men thank you and you feel proud. Helping each other is what the village is about. It's why everyone survives. Now you notice the air is warming up. The sun is climbing and the chill of morning is fading. You feel good, ready to work. The village is like a big family and you're part of it. Every sound, smell, and sight pulls you in, making you feel alive. This is the medieval world, tough but full of heart. You pass a woman milking a cow. She sits on a stool, her hands steady as milk splashes into a bucket. The cow chews grass, calm and happy. Milk is precious, it makes cheese or butter. You watch her work, amazed at how she knows just what to do. Everyone has skills here and they all matter. Now you see a tree with a nest. Baby birds chirp, their mouths open wide. The mother bird flies back with a worm. You smile, watching them. Nature is always moving, just like the village. It's a reminder that life keeps going no matter what. You feel connected to it all. You hear a shout. A man calls to his friend across the path. They're planning to fix a fence together. People talk a lot here, sharing news or ideas. It's how they stay close. You listen, picking up bits about the harvest or a new baby in the village. It's like the village has its own heartbeat and you're part of it. You smell smoke again, but this time it's from a fire outside. Someone's burning old branches to clear space. The flames crackle and the smoke stings your eyes a little. Fire is important. It cooks food, warms houses, and clears land. You respect it, knowing it's both helpful and dangerous. Now you see a girl weaving a basket. She sits by her cottage, her fingers twisting reeds. Baskets are used for everything, carrying food, holding tools, or storing clothes. She's focused, her hands quick. You admire her skill. Making things is a big part of village life and it feels good to create. Now you hear the wind pick up. It rustles the straw roofs and shakes the trees. A few leaves fall, spinning to the ground. The wind feels fresh, carrying the smell of grass and flowers. You close your eyes for a second, enjoying it. The village is part of nature, and moments like this make you feel alive. You pass a man carving wood. He's making a spoon, his knife shaving curls of wood. He's careful, his eyes on the work. Spoons, bowls, and tools are all made by hand. You like watching him. It's like magic, turning a stick into something useful. This is another way the village thrives. Now you see a butterfly land on a flower. Its wings are bright blue, fluttering softly. You stop to watch, amazed at how pretty it is. The village is full of small wonders like this. They remind you to slow down and look around, even when you're busy. You hear a child laugh. A boy runs by, chasing a hoop with a stick. He's having fun, his face bright with joy. Kids play whenever they can, even if they have chores. Their energy lifts the village, making it feel hopeful. You smile, remembering your own games. You smell something cooking, maybe soup with onions and herbs. It's coming from a cottage where a woman stirs a pot over a fire. Meals here are simple but hearty. You can't wait to eat later, knowing it'll fill your belly and make you strong for the day. You see a dog digging in the dirt. It's looking for a bone, its tail wagging. Dogs are great. They guard the village and keep people company. You call to it and it looks up, its ears perked. Animals make the village feel like a big, happy home. You notice the path is getting busier. More people are out now, heading to the fields or carrying tools. The village is in full swing, everyone moving with purpose. You feel the energy like a wave pushing you forward. You're ready to join them to do your part. You hear a horse neigh. It's tied near a cottage, eating hay. Horses are rare, only a few people have them. They're used for plowing or carrying heavy loads. You pat its nose and it snorts, warm air puffing out. You like horses, they're strong and kind. Now you see a woman planting seeds in a garden. She digs small holes with her fingers, dropping seeds in. She's careful, knowing these plants will feed her family. Gardens are like tiny fields, growing food close to home. You admire her patience and skill. Now you smell leather. A man nearby is fixing a shoe, stitching it with a needle. Leather is tough and lasts a long time, perfect for shoes or belts. His hands are quick and the shoe looks good as new. You're glad people can fix things, it saves everyone. Now you hear a bell again, it's softer this time, maybe signaling a prayer. The church is always part of the day. People stop to think or say a quiet word. It's a moment of calm in the busy morning. You feel it too, like a pause before the work begins. You see a cloud pass over the sun. The light dims for a moment, then brightens again. The sky is always changing, and peasants notice every shift. A cloud might mean rain, which could help or hurt the crops. You watch it move, hopping for good weather. Now you smell hay now. A pile sits near a cottage, ready to feed animals or fix a roof. Hay smells sweet and dry, different from the wet mud. You grab a handful, feeling its soft, prickly texture. It's another piece of the village, useful and simple. Now you hear a man whistle. He's walking to the fields, a tool over his shoulder. Whistling is common. People do it to pass the time or share a tune. It's cheerful, making the morning feel bright. You try whistling too, and it feels good. You see a spider web between two bushes. It sparkles with dew like tiny jewels. The spider sits in the middle, waiting for a bug. You're careful not to break it, it's too pretty. Nature's designs are everywhere, adding beauty to the village. You smell rain in the air. The breeze carries a damp scent like wet leaves. It might rain later, which could make work harder. You hope it holds off until the afternoon. Peasants always think about weather, it's part of their world. Now you hear a woman call to her child. She's telling him to fetch water. Her voice is kind but firm. Families work together and kids learn early to help. You like hearing them, it's the sound of the village staying strong. Well, you see a man carrying a basket of fish. He's been to the stream catching breakfast. Fish are a treat, not eaten every day. He grins, proud of his catch. You're happy for him. Good food means a good day. You notice the village is louder now. The morning is in full swing. People shout, animals make noise, and tools clank. But it's not chaos, it's teamwork. Everyone's doing their part and you're ready to join. This is the medieval village, alive and moving. You wake up hungry, your stomach growling. To stay strong, you need water and food. You grab a wooden bucket and head to the village well. It's a stone circle in the center of the village where everyone gets their water. You walk carefully, watching the smooth, wet stones around the well. They're slippery and you don't want to fall. Other women are there, holding buckets and chatting. You wait your turn, trying not to bump into anyone. Water is super important. It's for drinking, cooking, and washing. Without it, life in this medieval village hundreds of years ago would stop. You pull the rope and the bucket comes up full of clear, cold water. It's heavy, sloshing as you carry it back to your small house. The air smells fresh, like wet grass, and you hear birds singing. Your house is made of mud and sticks with a straw roof. Inside, it's just one room where you and your family live. You set the bucket down, happy to have water for the day. Now it's time to eat breakfast. You sit on a wooden stool by a small table. Breakfast is simple, a piece of rye bread. It's dark and hard, with a chewy crust that tastes like the earth. You break off a chunk and chew slowly. It's tough, but you like the flavor. Next to it, you have a cup of thin ale. It's not like soda, it's watery and a bit sour, but it's what people drink here. You sip it, feeling the cool liquid in your mouth. This quiet moment, eating and drinking, feels special. So soon, you'll head to the fields to work, but for now, you enjoy the calm. Later, you'll learn that sleep feels so good because of moments like this, when you've worked hard to get food and water. This is the medieval world, around the years 1000 to 1500. There are no stores or fridges. Everything you eat or drink comes from the village or the land around it. Getting water and food takes effort, and every bite feels like a prize. You're a peasant, which means you work hard to grow food and care for animals. Your life is tough, but it's full of small joys like this breakfast. Let's talk about the well. It's the heart of the village. Every morning, people line up to fill their buckets. The stones around it are worn from years of footsteps. You have to be careful because the ground is often wet. Sometimes kids run by laughing and you remind them to slow down so they don't slip. The rope on the well is thick and rough, scratching your hands as you pull. But when the bucket comes up, sparkling with water, you feel proud. This water will help your family cook, drink, and stay clean. Carrying the bucket home is hard. It's heavy and your arms ache. You walk slowly, trying not to spill. The path is dirt, sometimes muddy, and you watch your feet to avoid puddles. Other people pass by, carrying their own buckets or baskets. You nod to a neighbor, a woman with a baby on her hip. She smiles, her face tired but kind. Everyone works together here, sharing the load of survival. Back at your house, you pour some water into a clay pot. You'll use it later to make soup or porridge. Water is precious, so you don't waste a drop. You might need it to wash clothes or give to the animals. Your house is small, with a dirt floor and a fire pit in the middle. Smoke curls up to a hole in the roof. The air smells like wood and straw, mixed with the damp scent of the water you brought. Now let's talk about food. Breakfast is usually bread, like the rye you're eating. It's not soft like store bread, it's heavy and dense. You bake it in a clay oven outside, using flour from wheat or rye grown in the fields. Baking is a big job. First, you grind the grain into flour using a stone. It takes hours and your hands get sore. Then you mix the flour with water and a pinch of salt, shape it into a loaf, and bake it over a fire. When it's done, the bread smells amazing, warm and earthy. You chew another bite, savoring it. Bread is the most important food here. You eat it every day, sometimes with cheese, butter, or a bit of honey if you're lucky. Today, it's just bread and ale. The ale is made from barley, water, and yeast. It's not strong like beer, it's light, almost like a drink to wash down the bread. You sip it slowly, feeling it cool your throat. Meals like this keep you strong for the day's work. The village grows its own food. Beyond the houses are fields, big patches of land where crops like wheat, barley, and oats grow. You also have gardens with vegetables, cabbage, onions, peas, and carrots. These take months to grow and you have to watch them carefully. Weeds can ruin crops, so you pull them out. Bugs can eat leaves, so you scare them away. Rain is good, but too much can flood the fields. Every day you check the plants, hoping they'll be ready to harvest. Animals are part of food, too. You have chickens that lay eggs, goats that give milk, and pigs that grow big for meat. Eggs are a treat, boiled or mixed into porridge. Milk is used for cheese or butter, which you spread on bread. Meat is rare, maybe you eat it at a festival or in winter when a pig is killed. Taking care of animals is a big job. You feed them, clean their pens, and make sure they're safe from wolves or foxes. You finish your bread and take another sip of ale. The table is rough, made of wood your father carved years ago. You run your fingers over it, feeling the scratches and knots. Everything in the village is made by hand, tables, buckets, even the clothes you wear. Your shirt is wool, woven by your mother. It's scratchy but warm, perfect for chilly mornings like this. You hear noises outside. The village is waking up. Chickens cluck, a dog barks, and someone shouts to a friend. You know you can't sit long, work is waiting, but you take one more moment to enjoy your meal. Food and water aren't just for filling your belly. They're what keep you alive day after day. Every sip of water, every bite of bread is a step toward survival. Let's think about how you get food. The fields are where it starts. You spend hours there digging, planting, or harvesting. In spring, you push seeds into the dirt, covering them carefully. In summer, you pull weeds and water plants if it's dry. Fall is the busiest time. You cut crops with a sickle, a curved blade, and gather them into piles. Winter is quieter, but you still check stored food to make sure it lasts. Harvesting is hard but fun. You work with your neighbors, cutting wheat or barley under the sun. Everyone talks and laughs, even though their backs ache. When the crops are gathered, you carry them to a barn to keep them dry. Some grain is saved for planting next year, some is ground into flour, and some is traded for things like salt or tools. You feel proud when the harvest is good. It means the village will eat well. Gardens are another source of food. Near your house, you have a small patch of dirt where you grow vegetables. You plant seeds for onions, leeks, and beans. You check them every day, pulling weeds or shooing away birds. When the vegetables are ready, you pick them and bring them inside. You might chop them for soup or eat them raw. They taste fresh, like the earth they came from. You hear your mother calling. She's starting to cook lunch, even though it's early. She's using some of the water you brought to make porridge. She adds oats and a pinch of herbs from the garden. The smell fills the house, warm and comforting. You know lunch will be simple, but it'll give you energy for the afternoon. Food is like fuel, it keeps you going. Animals need food too. You give hay to the goats and scatter grain for the chickens. If you don't feed them, they won't give milk or eggs. You check their pens, making sure the fences are strong. A fox got a chicken last month, and you don't want that to happen again. Taking care of animals is like taking care of family. They depend on you. You think about water again. The well is far and carrying buckets takes time. Sometimes you go to a stream instead. It's a short walk and the water is cold and clear. You fill your bucket, watching fish dart under the surface. The stream is pretty with green moss on the rocks. You like going there, it's peaceful, even if the bucket is heavy on the way back. Food isn't always easy to get. If the harvest is bad, everyone worries. A dry summer or too much rain can ruin crops. You pray for good weather, knowing it's out of your control. When food is short, you eat less, maybe just porridge or old bread. Those days are hard, but the village shares what it has. If your neighbor has extra eggs, she might give you one. You do the same when you have more. You hear a bell from the church. It rings to mark the time or call people to pray. The sound is clear, floating over the village. It reminds you that the morning is moving. You finish your ale and stand up, brushing crumbs from your shirt. The fields are waiting and you need to get to work. But you feel good, your belly is full, and you have water for the day. Let's talk about cooking. Your mother is the main cook, but everyone helps. You might chop vegetables or stir a pot. Cooking happens over a fire, either inside the house or in an outdoor oven. You use clay pots or iron pans, heavy and blackened from years of use. Soup is common. It's easy to make with whatever you have, like beans, onions, or a bit of bacon. You also make porridge or bake bread. Everything takes time, but the smell of food cooking makes it worth it. You think about festivals. A few times a year, the village has big meals to celebrate. Maybe it's a saint's day or the end of harvest. You eat special foods like roasted meat or sweet cakes made with honey. Everyone gathers, sharing plates and laughing. Those meals are rare, but they make you feel rich, even if you're a peasant. After a festival, you sleep deeply, your heart happy. You hear kids outside playing near the well. They're splashing water and giggling. You smile, remembering when you did that. Kids help with food, too. They pick berries in the forest or gather eggs from the chickens. They learn early that food is work, but they make it fun. Their laughter lifts the village like a song. You look at your hands. They're rough from carrying buckets and digging in the dirt. You're young, but your skin is already tough. Every day you work to get water and food. It's not easy, but it makes you strong. You know that every bucket you carry, every seed you plant, keeps the village alive. That thought makes you proud. You smell the bread again, even though you're done eating. The scent lingers in the house, warm and cozy. You think about how much work went into that bread, the planting, harvesting, grinding, and baking. It's more than food, it's a story of the village. Every bite connects you to the land and the people around you. You hear a cow moo. It's in a pen near your house, waiting to be milked. You'll do that later, squeezing milk into a bucket. Milk is special. It's not just for drinking. You can make cheese or butter, which last longer. You like milking because the cow is calm and the rhythm of squeezing feels nice. Plus, the milk means more food for your family. You think about trade. Sometimes you don't have enough of something like salt. You take extra eggs or a sack of grain to the market, a place where people trade goods. You might swap your eggs for a small bag of salt or a new pot. The market is loud with people shouting and bargaining. It's exciting, but you're careful to get a fair deal. Trading helps the village have everything it needs. You hear your father outside sharpening a tool. He's getting ready for the fields. The sound is sharp metal scraping against stone. Tools are important. They help you plant, harvest, and build. You have a sickle, a hoe, and a shovel, all made by the village blacksmith. They're heavy, but you're used to them. Every tool helps you get food and survive. You notice the sun is higher now. The morning is warm and the village is busy. People carry baskets, lead animals, or walk to the fields. You know you need to join them soon. But you take one last sip of ale, feeling the sour taste on your tongue. This meal, this water, this moment, it's what keeps you going. Survival isn't easy, but it's worth it. You think about winter. Food is harder to get then. You store grain, vegetables, and dried meat in a cool, dry place. You check it often to keep mice away. Winter meals are simple lots of porridge or soup. You eat less, saving food for spring. But even in winter, you find ways to survive, sharing with neighbors and planning for the next year. You hear a bird chirp outside. It's a small sound, but it makes you smile. The village is full of life, even in the busy morning. Birds, animals, and people all work together. You feel part of it, like you belong. This connection makes every bucket of water, every piece of bread, feel important. You stand up, ready to work. The fields are calling, and you know the day will be long. But you're strong, thanks to the water and food you've had. You step outside, feeling the sun on your face. The village is alive, and you're part of it. Survival is hard, but it's also beautiful. Every day you fetch water, eat, and work, knowing that tonight sleep will be your reward. Your hands wrap around a wooden hoe. It's smooth from years of use, but heavy. You push it into the dirt, feeling your arms stretch and pull. The soil breaks apart, dark and soft, as you dig a row for planting seeds. Each swing of the hoe makes a dull thud, like a heartbeat connecting you to the earth. You're not just working, you're part of something big, a village that never stops moving. All around, people are busy. A man pounds glowing metal at the blacksmith's shop. A woman twists wool into thread, and kids carry baskets of sticks. Everyone's effort weaves together, like a song that keeps the village alive. By the time the sun sets, your body is tired, aching for the deep, cozy sleep that feels like a warm hug. This is a medieval village, long ago, between the years 1000 and 1500. You're a peasant, which means you work hard to grow food, care for animals, and help your neighbors. There are no machines or electricity. Everything is done with your hands, your strength, and your heart. The work is tough, but it gives you purpose. Every seed you plant, every fence you fix helps the village survive. You see others working, too. Their face is sweaty but focused. A man hammers iron, sparks flying like tiny stars. A woman spins wool, her fingers quick and steady. Their stories of hard work and courage inspire you to keep going. You're in the fields now, the biggest part of the village. They stretch out wide and green with patches of brown dirt. You're digging rows to plant wheat, a crop that will become bread. The hoe is heavy and your back aches as you swing it. Sweat drips down your forehead, stinging your eyes. You wipe it away with your sleeve, a rough wool shirt that scratches your skin. The sun is warm, climbing higher in the sky. You take a deep breath, smelling the fresh dirt and grass. This work is hard, but it feels good to be part of the land. You hear a bird chirp nearby, perched on a wooden fence. It's a small sound, but it lifts your spirit. The village is full of noises, cows mooing, chickens clucking, and the creak of a cart rolling by. You look up and see a man stacking hay, piling it high to feed animals later. His arms move fast, tossing bundles with a pitchfork. He nods at you, his face red from effort. You nod back, feeling like you're both part of the same team. Everyone's work matters, from planting seeds to feeding goats. You keep digging, making neat rows in the dirt. The soil is soft today thanks to last night's rain. You scoop it with the hoe, feeling its cool, damp texture. Planting is important. Wheat will grow into stalks, and by fall you'll harvest it for flour. You imagine the bread it'll make, warm and chewy. That thought keeps you going, even as your hands blister from gripping the hoe. You're not just digging, you're building a future for the village. A woman walks by, carrying a basket of vegetables. She's been in her garden, pulling carrots and onions. Her hands are dirty, her apron stained with earth. She smiles at you, her eyes kind. Good work, she says, and you feel proud. The village is like a big family. Everyone helps and cheers each other on. You see kids running, carrying water to the fields. They laugh, splashing a little, but they're helping too. Even the youngest ones know work is important. You hear a loud clang from the blacksmith's shop. It's across the village, near a cluster of houses with straw roofs. The blacksmith is shaping iron, maybe making a new plow or fixing a horseshoe. You picture him strong and focused, his hammer striking red-hot metal. Sparks fly and the air smells like burning coal. His work is different from yours, but just as needed. Without tools, you couldn't farm. Without farmers, he'd have no food. Everyone's job fits together like pieces of a puzzle. You pause to stretch, your back sore. The sun is higher now, warming the fields. You see a girl herding goats, guiding them to a grassy spot. She waves a stick, keeping them in line. The goats bleat, their bells jingling. You smile, she's young, but she works hard. Goats give milk for cheese, and their wool can be woven into blankets. Her job helps the village, just like yours. You feel a spark of pride, knowing you're all working for the same goal. You start stacking hay now, a different task. The hay is dry and prickly, tickling your arms as you lift it. You pile it neatly, making a big mound to keep it safe from rain. Hay is food for cows and horses, especially in winter when grass is gone. You use a pitchfork, its wooden handle worn smooth. Each stab into the hay feels strong, like you're shaping the village's future. You work fast, but careful, making sure the pile is sturdy. You hear laughter from a nearby field. Some men are fixing a fence, hammering wooden posts into the ground. They joke as they work, their voices loud and cheerful. A good fence keeps animals safe from wolves or stops them from eating crops. You like their energy, it makes the work feel lighter. You call out a greeting and they wave back. The village is full of moments like this, where hard work mixes with fun. You smell something sweet, wildflowers growing at the edge of the field. Their purple and yellow petals sway in the breeze. You pick one and tuck it in your pocket, a tiny bit of beauty in your busy day. The fields are more than dirt, they're alive with plants, bugs, and birds. A butterfly flutters by, its wings bright orange. You watch it for a moment, feeling calm. Nature is your partner in this work, giving you the crops and animals you need. You go back to planting, switching tasks to keep the day moving. You carry a sack of seeds, small and hard like pebbles. You drop them into the rows you dug, covering them with dirt. Each seed is a promise. If it gets enough sun and rain, it'll grow into food. You pat the soil gently, like you're tucking the seeds in. This work feels special, like you're helping the earth create something new. You hear a cart creak. A man pushes it, loaded with logs for building or burning. The wheels sink into the soft dirt and he grunts with effort. You run over to help, pushing the cart from behind. It moves slowly, but you get it unstuck. He thanks you, his face sweaty but grateful. Helping feels good. It's what the village is about. You know he'd do the same for you. Your stomach growls. It's been hours since breakfast, a simple meal of bread and ale. Lunch is coming soon, maybe porridge or soup. You work harder, knowing food will taste better after all this effort. Hunger makes you appreciate every bite, and sleep will feel amazing tonight, like a reward for your tired body. You think about how peasants sleep so well because they work so hard. Every muscle earns that rest. You see a woman weaving outside her house. She sits on a stool, twisting straw into a basket. Her fingers move fast, shaping something useful. Baskets hold vegetables, eggs, or tools. You admire her skill. It's different from farming, but just as important. She hums a tune, her voice soft. Music is part of work here. People sing or hum to keep going. You try humming, too, and it makes the hoe feel lighter. You hear a dog bark. It's guarding a flock of sheep at the edge of the village. A boy watches them, making sure they don't wander. Sheep give wool for clothes and meat for special meals. The boy waves at you, his face bright with a smile. He's young, but his job matters. You wave back, feeling the village's teamwork all around you. You smell smoke now, not from the blacksmith, but from a fire someone's lit to burn old branches. The flames crackle and the air carries a sharp, woody scent. Fire is a big part of life. It cooks food, warms houses, and clears land. You respect it, knowing it can be dangerous. The village uses fire carefully, and you're glad everyone knows how. You switch to carrying water now. The fields need it, especially for young plants. You walk to the stream, a clear ribbon of water near the village. You fill 2 buckets, their weight pulling on your arms. The water sparkles, cold and fresh. You carry it back, splashing a little on your shoes. Pouring it over the plants feels good. You can almost see them perk up. Water is life for crops and people alike. Now you hear a bell ring. The church, a stone building in the village center, marks the time. Its sound is clear, calling people to pray or signaling noon. You pause, wiping sweat from your face. The day is moving fast, but you're keeping up. The bell reminds you that work is part of something bigger, like a promise to God and the village. You see a man repairing a plow. He's carving a new wooden piece to replace a broken one. His knife moves carefully, shaving curls of wood. Plows are important. They turn the soil for planting. Without them, farming would be impossible. You admire his focus, knowing his work helps you. You call out a thank you, and he grins, proud of his craft. Your hands are sore now, red from gripping tools. You look at them, seeing dirt under your nails. They're strong, though, built from years of work. Every swing of the hoe, every bucket you carry makes you tougher. You're not just surviving, you're building a life day by day. That purpose fills you with energy, even when you're tired. You smell bread baking. Someone's using an outdoor oven, a round clay dome with a fire inside. The warm, yeasty scent drifts across the fields. Bread is the heart of every meal, and its smell makes you hungry. You know lunch is near, and it'll taste amazing after all this work. Food and sleep are the rewards for your effort, and you can't wait for both. You hear kids laughing. They're carrying sticks to a pile, helping their parents. They turn it into a game, racing to see who can carry the most. Their joy makes you smile. Work isn't always serious. Kids find fun in it, and adults do too. You remember joking with your friends while harvesting, making the long days feel short. You see a horse pulling a cart of grain. A woman guides it, her voice calm as she talks to the horse. Horses are strong, used for big jobs like plowing or carrying heavy loads. You pat its side as it passes, feeling its warm, dusty coat. Animals are partners in this work, sharing the effort. You're grateful for them. You switch to pulling weeds now. They grow fast, stealing water from crops. You kneel in the dirt, yanking them out with your hands. The roots come up long and stringy. It's tiring, but you like seeing the clean rows afterward. Weeds are like little enemies, and you're winning this battle for the plants. Now you hear a woman singing. She's in another field, cutting barley with a sickle. Her voice is soft, a tune about the harvest. Singing makes work feel easier, like a friend cheering you on. You try singing too, a simple song your mother taught you. It lifts your mood, and the hoe swings faster. Now you smell flowers again, different ones this time, white and tiny, growing near a ditch. They're pretty, and you pick one to smell it closer. The village is full of beauty, even in the hard work. You tuck the flower in your hair, feeling a spark of happiness. These small moments make the day special. You see a man building a fence. He's hammering posts into the ground, his arms strong. A good fence protects crops from animals. You offer to help, holding a post steady while he swings. Together, you get it done faster. He claps your shoulder, grateful. Teamwork is the village's strength, and you feel it now. Your legs are tired now, heavy from standing and walking. You sit for a moment, leaning against a tree. The bark is rough, but it feels good to rest. You watch the village move, people working, animals grazing, smoke rising from houses. This is your world, and you're proud to be part of it. Every drop of sweat ties you to the land and the people. You hear a cow moo, low and loud. It's in a pen, waiting to be milked. You'll do that later, squeezing milk into a bucket for cheese or butter. Milking is calm work, different from digging. You like the rhythm, the way the cow trusts you. Every job, big or small, adds to the village's life. You smell rain in the air. The breeze feels damp and clouds are gathering. You hope it waits until evening. Rain makes the fields muddy and work harder. You keep planting, moving faster to finish before the weather changes. Peasants always watch the sky, knowing it can help or hurt their work. You see a girl carrying eggs. She's careful, her basket full of fragile shells. Eggs are precious, used for food or trade. She smiles at you, proud of her job. You smile back, knowing her work helps everyone. The village is like a big web, with every person's effort holding it together. Now you hear a hammer again, but this time it's a carpenter. He's fixing a cart, nailing boards together. His work keeps the village moving. Carts carry crops, wood, and people. You watch him for a moment, amazed at how he shapes wood. Every skill matters, and you're glad he's here. Your body is tired, but your heart is full. You've dug rows, stacked hay, carried water, and pulled weeds. Each task is a step toward survival, not just for you but for everyone. You think about sleep, how it'll feel tonight. After all this work, your straw bed will be like a cloud, pulling you into a deep, happy rest. You see the sun dipping lower. The day is moving toward evening. You have more to do, maybe feed the animals or fix a tool, but you're ready. The village's rhythm pushes you forward like a river carrying a leaf. You're part of it, and that gives you strength. Work is hard, but it's also purpose, tying you to the land, the people, and the life you love. You lift your eyes and see the Lord's manor sitting high on a hill. Its tall stone walls look strong and cold, like a giant watching over the village. The manor reminds you that the Lord is in charge. His rules are the law, and everyone must follow them. Obeying isn't something you choose, it's how you stay safe. Around you, people talk in quiet voices, sharing stories about a farmer who got in trouble for hunting in the Lord's forest or a faraway village that tried to fight back and lost. These tales hang in the air, making the village feel heavy. But at night, sleep is like a soft blanket, letting you forget the fear for a while. This is a medieval village, long ago, between the years 1000 and 1500. You're a peasant, which means you work hard to grow food and care for animals. The Lord owns the land and you work for him. His manor, with its big walls and wooden gates, is a sign of his power. You see his flag flapping in the breeze, bright with colors like red and gold. It's pretty, but it also says, "I'm the boss." You know to be careful, because breaking the Lord's rules can bring trouble. You're walking through the village, a place with muddy paths and houses made of mud and straw. The air smells like wet dirt and smoke from cooking fires. You hear chickens clucking and a dog barking nearby. People are busy carrying baskets or fixing fences, but they keep their voices low when they talk about the Lord. You pass a group of women washing clothes by a stream. One whispers about a man who took wood from the Lord's forest without asking. The Lord's helper, called a bailiff, made him pay a big fine, 2 chickens, and a sack of grain. You feel a shiver, knowing how much that hurts a family. The Lord's rules are strict. You can't hunt in his forests because the deer and rabbits belong to him. You can't take wood from his trees, even for your fire. You have to give him part of your crops, like wheat or barley, every harvest. If you don't, the bailiff might take your tools or even your animals. You work hard in the fields, digging and planting, but some of what you grow goes to the manor. It's not fair, but it's life. You obey to keep your family safe. You hear a horse's hooves clopping. It's the bailiff riding through the village. He's a tall man with a stern face, wearing a leather vest. His horse is big, its coat shiny and black. People step aside, their eyes on the ground. You do the same, holding your breath. The bailiff checks the village, making sure everyone follows the rules. If someone's lazy or breaks a law, he reports it to the Lord. You don't want his attention, so you keep working, hoeing the dirt or carrying water. You see the manor again, its walls glowing in the morning sun. It's not like your house. Your house is small, with a dirt floor and a straw roof. The manor has many rooms, glass windows, and a big hall where the Lord eats fancy meals. You've never been inside, but you've heard stories. The Lord has soft beds, warm fires, and food like roasted meat and sweet cakes. You eat bread and porridge, but you don't complain. Thinking about the manor makes you feel small, like the Lord is a king and you're just a worker. You hear a story from a neighbor, an old man with a gray beard. He sits by his house sharpening a knife. He tells you about a village far away that tried to fight the Lord. They didn't want to give him their crops. The Lord sent men with swords and the village was burned. Everyone was punished and some were taken away. You listen, your heart beating fast. Stories like this scare you, but they also teach you to be careful. You don't want trouble in your village. The church is part of this too. It's a stone building in the village center with a tall bell tower. The priest says the Lord's power comes from God. You go to church on Sundays, praying and listening to the priest. He tells you to obey the Lord because it's what God wants. You nod even if it feels hard. The church's bell rings now, a clear sound that echoes over the houses. It calls people to pray, but it also reminds you that the Lord and the priest work together, keeping the village in line. You walk past a wooden sign by the path. It's carved with the Lord's mark, a shape like a lion. It means this land is his. You see it everywhere on flags, on the bailiff's cloak, even on the church door. The mark feels like eyes watching you, making sure you don't step out of line. You keep your head down, focusing on your work. You're digging in the field, planting seeds for barley. Each scoop of dirt feels like a promise to follow the rules. You hear a woman talking to her friend. They're weaving baskets, their hands moving fast. She says the Lord's men caught a boy stealing apples from the manor's orchard. He was whipped in the village square and his family had to give up a goat. You feel bad for the boy, he was probably hungry, but you also know stealing is dangerous. The Lord's punishments are quick and harsh, and you don't want to be next. The village feels quiet today, like everyone's holding their breath. Stories of trouble make people nervous. You see a man fixing a cart, his hammer banging wood. He works fast, like he's trying to stay busy. You wave, but he just nods, his eyes flicking toward the manor. Fear is like a shadow, it's always there, even on sunny days. You try to ignore it, focusing on your hoe and the soft dirt under your feet. You think about the Lord. You've seen him once riding a horse through the village. He's tall, with a long cloak and a sword at his side. He didn't look at you, but his presence was heavy, like a storm cloud. The Lord lives in the manor with his family, eating food you helped grow. He protects the village from bandits or other lords, but in return you give him your work and your loyalty. It's a deal you didn't choose, but you live with it. You hear a kid whispering to his friend. They're carrying water, their buckets sloshing. The kid says the bailiff was at his house last night, asking why his father didn't pay the full tax. Taxes are crops or animals you give the Lord. If you don't have enough, you're in trouble. The kid looks scared, his voice shaky. You want to say something kind, but you don't. Talking about the Lord's rules can bring bad luck. You see the manor's shadow stretch across the fields as the sun moves. It's like the Lord's power touching everything. You work faster, digging rows for seeds. Your hands are sweaty, gripping the hoe tightly. You don't want the bailiff to think you're lazy. Lazy peasants might lose their land or be fined. You love your small house and your family. You'll do anything to keep them safe. The village has a meeting place, a big tree in the center. Sometimes the Lord's men come there to read new rules. Last week, they said everyone must work extra days in the Lord's fields. You were tired, but you went, harvesting his wheat while your own crops waited. You didn't argue, nobody does. The tree is a place for news, but it's also where punishments happen. You've seen people tied there, whipped for stealing or fighting. The memory makes you shiver and you focus on your work. You hear a horn blow. It's the Lord's signal, maybe calling his men to the manor. The sound is loud, cutting through the village's hum. People pause, looking toward the hill. You do too, wondering what's happening. Maybe the Lord is planning a hunt or checking his lands. You hope it's nothing bad. The horn makes your stomach tight, but you keep digging, pretending it's just another noise. You think about sleep. At night, when the village is dark and quiet, you lie on your straw bed. The fear of the Lord and his rules fades. Sleep is like a safe place where nobody can punish you. You dream of fields, friends, or maybe a festival with music. Sleep is a gift, letting you escape the heavy weight of the Lord's power. You work hard all day, and that makes sleep feel even better, like a warm fire after a cold day. You see a man leading a cow to the manor. He's paying a tax, giving the Lord an animal because his crops were short. His face is sad, but he walks tall, not wanting to look weak. You feel sorry for him. Losing a cow is hard. You hope the Lord is kind, but you know he might not be. Power is like that, it takes what it wants. You turn back to your field, digging deeper, hoping to grow enough to keep the bailiff away. You hear a woman pray quietly. She's kneeling by a small cross near her house. She asks God to protect her family from trouble. Many people pray when they're scared. The church says God watches over everyone, even peasants. You pray sometimes, too, asking for a good harvest or safety. It helps you feel less alone, like someone bigger than the Lord is listening. The village is busy, but the manor's shadow makes it feel smaller. You see the bailiff again, walking now, not riding. He stops to talk to a man fixing a roof. You can't hear them, but the man looks nervous, nodding quickly. You wonder what he did. Maybe he was late with a tax. You keep working, not wanting to catch the bailiff's eye. Your hoe hits a rock and you pry it out, tossing it aside. Work keeps you safe, showing you're doing your part. You think about stories you've heard. An old woman once told you about a peasant who ran away, tired of the Lord's rules. He hid in the forest, but the Lord's men found him. They brought him back and locked him in a cage for days. The story scares you, but it also makes you sad. You don't want to run. You love the village, even with its rules. You just wish the Lord wasn't so harsh. You hear kids playing, but they're quieter today. They're tossing a ball, but they glance at the manor sometimes. Even kids know about the Lord's power. They've seen punishments or heard their parents whisper. You wish they could play without worry, but fear touches everyone. You call to them, saying their ball looks fun. They smile, and for a moment the village feels lighter. You see a flag waving at the manor. It's new, with a different design, a bird instead of a lion. Maybe another lord is visiting. That can mean trouble. Lords sometimes fight over land. You hope it's just a visit, not a sign of war. War is the worst fear because it takes men away and burns fields. You push the thought away, focusing on your seeds. Work is something you can control, unlike the Lord's plans. The air feels heavier now, like a storm might come. You look at the sky, seeing gray clouds. Rain could make work harder, but it's not just the weather. The manor's presence, the bailiff's visits, the stories of punishment, they all add weight to the day. You dig faster, wanting to finish your rows. Work is your way of staying safe, proving you're a good peasant. You hear a man shout, but it's not angry. He's calling his son to help with a cart. The village keeps moving, even with fear. People work, laugh, and live, finding ways to push through. You admire that strength. You feel it, too, in your hands and heart. You're part of this village, and you'll keep going, no matter what the Lord says. You think about the future. You want your family to be safe, with enough food and a warm house. The Lord's rules make that harder, but you don't give up. You plant seeds, fix fences, and help neighbors, knowing it all matters. At night, when you sleep, you dream of a good harvest or a kind Lord. Sleep is where hope lives, free from fear. You see a woman carrying a basket to the manor. She's bringing eggs, part of her tax. Her steps are slow, like she doesn't want to go. You wave, trying to cheer her up. She waves back, her smile small but real. The village is strong because people care for each other, even when the Lord's rules are heavy. You feel that strength now, and it pushes you to keep working. The day is moving on. The sun is lower, casting long shadows. You've been digging, planting, and helping all morning. Your body is tired, but your mind is sharp. You know the Lord's power is real, but so is your village's spirit. You'll obey, work hard, and sleep deeply, finding peace in the quiet night. This is your life, and you're proud to be part of it, even with the fear. You stand in the cool shade of the village church, a big stone building with a tall bell tower. Inside, people pray, their hands pressed together, their voices singing soft songs in a language called Latin. The air smells sweet, like melted beeswax from glowing candles and a smoky scent from a special powder called incense. People talk to Saint Michael, a brave angel, or the Virgin Mary, a kind mother in heaven. They leave gifts, like a shiny coin or a small piece of bread, on a wooden table. Their faces show hope, like they're wishing for something good, or a quiet worry, like they're scared of something bad. Here, believing in God makes people feel safe. It helps them sleep at night, knowing they're not alone. It also makes them think about a happy place after life, called heaven. This faith is part of everything they do, making their sleep feel special, like a gift from above. This is a medieval village, long ago, between the years 1000 and 1500. You're a peasant working hard to grow food and care for animals. The church is the heart of the village, not just a building but a place where people find comfort. It's made of gray stones, with a big wooden door carved with flowers. The bell rings every day, calling everyone to pray or marking time. You hear it now, a clear, loud clang that echoes over the houses with straw roofs. The village is busy with muddy paths, clucking chickens, and the smell of fresh dirt, but the church feels calm, like a quiet hug. You step inside the church. The light is soft, coming through small windows with colored glass that makes red and blue patterns on the floor. Candles flicker, their tiny flames dancing. You smell the wax, warm and sweet, mixing with the smoky incense a priest swings in a metal holder. People kneel on the stone floor, their heads bowed. They sing a hymn, a song to God in words you don't fully understand. The sound is beautiful, like a river flowing gently. You join in, humming softly, feeling part of something big. You see a woman place a small loaf of bread on a table near the front. It's an offering, a gift to God or a saint. She prays to Saint Michael, asking him to protect her sick child. Her face is tired, with lines around her eyes, but she looks hopeful. You know Saint Michael is strong, a warrior who fights bad spirits. People believe he listens when they pray. You feel a warm spark in your heart, like maybe he's listening to you too. You think about the Virgin Mary. She's special, like a mother to everyone. People pray to her for help with bobbies, harvests, or safety. You see a man leave a copper coin on the table, his hands shaking a little. He's asking Mary to keep his crops safe from rain. You've prayed to her too when your cow was sick. You left a flower by her statue, a small figure carved in wood with a gentle smile. Praying makes you feel lighter, like your worries are shared. The priest stands at the front, wearing a long robe. He speaks in Latin, his voice deep and steady. He tells stories about God, heaven, and how to be good. You listen even if the words are hard. The priest says God watches over the village, seeing every kind act and every mistake. You try to be good, helping your neighbors and working hard because you want God to be happy. At night, when you sleep, you feel safe knowing God is there. You hear a soft chant from a group of women. They're praying for a good harvest, their voices blending like a warm breeze. They hold wooden beads called a rosary, counting prayers to Mary. You have a rosary, too, made of smooth stones tied with string. You touch it in your pocket, feeling calm. Praying like this is a ritual, something you do the same way every time. It's like a habit that makes your heart feel steady. You smell the incense again, a rich, smoky scent that fills the church. It's burned in a small metal box swung by a boy helping the priest. The smoke curls up like it's carrying prayers to heaven. You watch it twist, feeling peaceful. The church is full of special smells, wax, smoke, even the faint scent of old wood from the benches. These smells make you think of God, like the air itself is holy. You see a kid light a candle. He's young, maybe 7, and his mother guides his hand. They're praying for his grandfather, who's very old. The candle's light is small but bright, like a star in the dim church. People light candles to send wishes to heaven or to thank God. You've lit one before when your sister was sick. It felt like the light carried your hope. The boy smiles, proud of his job, and you smile too. The church has pictures on the walls, painted with bright colors. They show Jesus, Mary, and saints like Michael. One picture shows Michael fighting a dragon, his sword shining. You like it, it makes you feel brave. The pictures teach you about God without words. Even if you can't read, you understand the stories. They remind you that heaven is real, a place of rest after life. This makes sleep feel special, like a taste of that peace. You hear the bell again, softer now. It's time to leave the church. People stand, brushing dirt from their knees. They talk quietly, sharing news or checking on each other. The church isn't just for praying, it's where the village comes together. You see a man help an old woman walk, holding her arm. You feel warm inside, knowing the village cares for everyone, just like God does. You step outside, blinking in the sunlight. The village is alive, kids run by, a dog chases a chicken, and smoke rises from cooking fires. But the church's calm stays with you. You carry it in your heart like a small light. You know you'll pray again tonight before bed. Saying a prayer makes sleep feel safe, like God is watching over your straw bed. You think about festivals. The church plans big ones like Easter or Christmas. Everyone gathers, singing and eating special foods like honey cakes. You wear your best clothes, a clean wool tunic. The priest leads prayers and the village feels like one big family. After a festival, you sleep deeply, your heart full of joy. Faith makes those days brighter and the church makes them happen. You see a small cross by a path. It's wood, stuck in the ground with flowers around it. People stop there to pray when they're walking. You pause, saying a quick prayer for your family. It's simple, just a few words asking for safety. You feel better, like you've done something good. These small rituals are part of life, like eating or working. They keep you close to God. You hear a woman singing a hymn outside her house. She's spinning wool, her voice soft and clear. Hymns aren't just for church, people sing them while working or cooking. The song is about Jesus and it makes her smile. You hum along, knowing the tune. Music is a way to pray, lifting your spirit. It makes hard days feel easier and sleep feel closer. You smell bread baking nearby. It's not an offering this time, just a family cooking. But it reminds you of the church where bread is special. The priest says bread and wine become Jesus during a ceremony called Mass. You don't understand it all, but it feels important. You go to Mass every Sunday, standing with your neighbors. It's a ritual that ties the village to God, making everyone feel connected. You think about saints. Besides Michael and Mary, there's Saint Christopher, who protects travelers, and Saint Agnes, who helps girls. Each saint has a job, like a helper in heaven. You pray to them for specific things, like a safe trip to the market or a good marriage. You have a small wooden figure of Saint Christopher at home, carved by your father. You touch it before bed, asking for protection. It helps you sleep without worry. You see a man kneel by the stream, praying. He's alone, his hands clasped. Maybe he's asking for forgiveness or help with a problem. People pray anywhere, fields, houses, or paths. Faith isn't just in the church, it's everywhere. You admire his quiet moment, knowing it gives him strength. You pray in the fields sometimes when the sun sets and the world feels big. You hear kids practicing a church song. They're outside, guided by an older woman. Their voices are high and a bit off-key, but they try hard. They're learning for a festival when they'll sing in the church. You smile, remembering when you did that. Singing for God feels special, like giving a gift. The kids' laughter mixes with the song, making the village feel warm. You think about death. The church talks about it, saying good people go to heaven. You've seen funerals when the priest prays and the village buries someone. It's sad, but the church says death is a door to rest forever. This makes you less scared. At night, when you sleep, it's like practicing for that rest. Faith makes even sad things feel okay. You see a candle glowing in a house window. It's a sign someone's praying, maybe for a sick baby. Candles are used at home too, not just in church. You light one sometimes when you're worried. The small flame feels like hope, pushing away fear. You plan to light one tonight, asking for a good harvest. It's a ritual that makes sleep feel peaceful. You hear the priest's voice from the church. He's teaching kids about God, telling a story about Jesus helping people. You listen for a moment, standing by the path. The priest is kind, but he also says to obey God and the Lord. You nod, knowing faith and rules go together. The church keeps the village strong, guiding everyone with its stories. You smell flowers near the church. They're planted in a small garden, bright with yellow and purple. People care for them as a gift to God. You pick one, smelling its sweet scent. Flowers are part of rituals, used in festivals or left at crosses. They make the church feel alive, like faith is growing in the dirt. You think about prayers you know. There's one you say every night, asking God to keep your family safe. It's short, but it feels powerful. You learned it from your mother, who learned it from hers. Prayers are like threads connecting you to people long gone. They make sleep feel like a bridge to heaven where everyone waits. You see a man carve a cross from wood. He's sitting by his house, his knife moving slowly. The cross will go in his garden, a place to pray. You admire his work, it's simple but meaningful. Making things for God is a ritual, like singing or lighting candles. It shows you care and it makes the village prettier. You hear a bell again, softer this time. It's the evening bell, signaling time to rest. The village will slow down soon and people will pray before bed. You feel calm, knowing you'll do the same. Faith wraps around the day, from morning hymns to night prayers. It makes sleep feel sacred, like God is holding you close. The village is busy, but the church's peace stays with you. You work, eat, and live, but faith is always there like a warm light. It guides you through fear, gives you hope, and makes sleep a sweet escape. You're proud to be part of this world, where belief is as real as the dirt under your feet. Your chest hurts and you feel hot, like a fire is inside you. You're sick, so you walk to the wise woman's house, a small cottage with a straw roof. She's old, with gray hair and kind eyes, and she knows how to fix people. She mixes herbs and animal fat into a thick paste, called a salve, and rubs it on your chest. It smells sharp, like mint and earth, and feels cool on your skin. The pain is strong, like a knife, but you clench your teeth, staying tough. Getting better in this medieval village, long ago between the years 1000 and 1500, takes hard work and patience. People here believe sleep helps, too. It's like a magic time when your body fixes itself, watched over by God's gentle care. You're a peasant, living in a village of muddy paths and wooden houses. There are no doctors or hospitals like today. When you're sick or hurt, you go to the wise woman or sometimes a man who knows herbs. They use plants, prayers, and old tricks to help you heal. The village is busy, with chickens clucking and smoke rising from cooking fires, but being sick makes everything feel slow. You want to get back to work, digging in the fields or feeding animals. But first, you need to get strong. The wise woman's house is cozy. Herbs hang from the ceiling, drying in bundles. They smell fresh, like a garden after rain. She has jars of roots and leaves on a wooden shelf, each one for a different problem. You sit on a stool and she looks at you, her hands gentle but firm. She asks about your pain, where it hurts, how long it's been. You tell her about the heat in your chest and how you cough at night. She nods, thinking, then grabs a handful of green leaves from a basket. She crushes the leaves with a stone, mixing them with fat from a pig. The paste is thick and sticky, and she spreads it on your chest. It stings a little, but then it feels better, like the pain is fading. She wraps a cloth around you to keep the paste in place. Rest, she says, her voice soft but serious. Sleep will help. You nod, trusting her. Everyone in the village knows she's wise, learned from her mother, who learned from hers. Her cures aren't always fast, but they work if you're strong. You leave her house, walking slowly. The air outside is cool, smelling of damp dirt and grass. You hear a dog bark and kids laughing as they chase a ball. The village keeps moving, even if you feel weak. You head home to your cottage, a small place with a dirt floor and a fire pit. You lie on your straw bed, pulling a wool blanket over you. The salve's smell stays with you, sharp and earthy. You close your eyes, hoping sleep will come. Peasants believe sleep is like a helper, fixing your body while you dream. The village has no medicine like today's pills. Instead, people use nature, plants, honey, even mud to heal. If you cut your hand, the wise woman might clean it with water and wrap it with leaves that stop bleeding. If you have a fever, she gives you tea made from willow bark. It tastes bitter, but it cools you down. You've seen her help others, too. A boy with a broken arm got a wooden splint, and a woman with a bad cough drank syrup made from onions. Healing is slow, but it feels like a miracle when it works. You think about pain. It's part of life here. You might hurt your back digging in the fields or burn your hand cooking over a fire. Small hurts heal fast, but big ones, like a deep cut or a sickness, need help. You're tough though. Peasants learn to keep going even when it hurts. You remember falling last year, scraping your knee on a rock. It bled a lot, but your mother cleaned it and prayed over it. You were back to work in a few days, your knee sore but okay. You hear the church bell ring, a clear sound from the stone building in the village center. People believe God helps with healing too. When you're sick, you pray, asking for strength. The priest says God watches over everyone like a father. You pray to Saint Roch, who helps sick people, or the Virgin Mary, who's kind to everyone. You've left a candle at the church before, its small flame a wish for health. Prayer makes you feel calm, like you're not fighting the sickness alone. You try to sleep, but the pain in your chest keeps you awake. You breathe slowly, smelling the herbs on your skin. The cottage is quiet, except for the crackle of the fire. Your family is outside, working or fetching water. You feel bad for resting while they work, but you know you need to heal. Sleep is important. Everyone says it's when your body gets strong again. You picture God watching, like a soft light over your bed. It helps you relax and your eyes start to close. The village has lots of ways to heal. If you have a headache, the wise woman might give you a paste of lavender to rub on your head. It smells sweet and makes the pain fade. For a sore throat, you drink warm water with honey and sage. Honey is precious, saved for special times or sickness. You've helped collect it, carefully taking it from beehives in the forest. It's sticky and sweet, and you love licking it off your fingers. You think about injuries. Last month, a man broke his leg falling from a cart. The wise woman tied sticks around it to keep it straight. He limped for weeks, but now he's walking again. You've seen cuts get cleaned with boiled water or wine, which stings but stops bad stuff from growing. The wise woman knows which plants are good and which are bad. She warns kids not to eat red berries from a certain bush. They make you sick. You listen, because her knowledge keeps the village safe. You hear a bird chirp outside. It's a small sound, but it makes you smile. The village is full of life, even when you're stuck in bed. You know your neighbors are working, digging, weaving, or feeding animals. They'll check on you later, maybe bring soup or bread. The village is like a big family, helping each other through sickness. You feel grateful even if you're hurting. You think about food. When you're sick, you eat simple things like porridge or broth. Your mother makes soup with onions, carrots, and herbs, simmering it over the fire. It's warm and easy to swallow, helping you feel stronger. You don't eat meat when you're sick, it's too heavy. But a good broth full of garden vegetables feels like a hug in a bowl. Food is part of healing, giving your body energy to fight. You smell the straw under you. It's dry and a bit prickly, but it's your bed, cozy with a blanket. The cottage smells like smoke and herbs, a mix that's familiar. You pull the blanket higher, feeling its rough wool. Being warm helps you heal, cold makes sickness worse. You're glad for the fire, even if it's small. Its glow lights the room, making you feel safe. You hear your mother come in. She's carrying a clay cup with tea made from chamomile flowers. It's warm and smells like apples. "Drink this," she says, her voice soft. You sip it, the taste gentle and calming. Chamomile helps you sleep, and sleep is what you need. Your mother sits by you, humming a quiet song. Her presence makes the pain feel smaller, like she's sharing your fight. The village believes in prayers for healing. You've seen people gather at the church when someone's very sick. They sing hymns and light candles, asking God to help. Last year, a baby was sick and the whole village prayed. The baby got better and everyone thanked Saint Rock. You believe in these prayers, they're like a team effort, lifting the sick person up. You feel that love now, knowing your family prays for you. You think about the wise woman's other cures. She uses mud sometimes, spreading it on burns to cool them. For a bad cough, she gives you a mix of garlic and honey, which tastes strong but works. She also knows charms, special words said over a sick person. You don't know if they're magic, but they make you feel better, like a warm hand on your shoulder. The wise woman is part of the village's heart, keeping everyone going. You hear a dog bark outside. It's guarding the house, making sure no animals sneak in. The village is full of sounds, kids playing, a hammer banging, a cow mooing. These noises remind you that life goes on even when you're sick. You want to be out there working with your friends, but you know rest is your job now. Healing takes time and you're learning to be patient. You think about accidents. The village is busy and people get hurt. A boy cut his hand with a knife while carving wood. The wise woman stitched it with thread like sewing cloth. It hurt, but he was brave. Another time, a woman burned her arm cooking. The wise woman put aloe, a plant juice, on it, and the burn healed without a scar. You're amazed at how the village finds ways to fix things using what the earth gives. You smell the tea again, its soft scent mixing with the salve on your chest. The herbs are working, you feel a little better, like the fire in your chest is cooling. You take another sip, letting the warmth spread inside. The cottage is quiet now, just the fire's crackle and your mother's humming. You close your eyes, feeling sleep come closer. It's like a friend ready to help you heal. The village has rules about sickness. If someone has a bad disease, like a fever that spreads, they stay away from others. The wise woman checks them, bringing herbs and prayers. You've seen this with a coughing sickness. People stayed in their houses and the village shared food to help. Keeping sickness from spreading is important because everyone needs to work. You're glad the village cares even when times are hard. You think about sleep again. It's not just rest, it's healing. When you sleep, your body fights the sickness like a quiet warrior. You picture God watching, his light soft and warm. The church says sleep is a gift, a time to trust in heaven. You believe it, especially now when every nap makes you stronger. You pull your blanket tighter, ready to drift off. You hear a knock at the door. It's a neighbor bringing a small pot of soup. She smiles, saying she prayed for you at the church. You thank her, feeling warm inside. The village is strong because people help each other. Sickness is hard, but kindness makes it easier. You sip the soup later, its taste rich with herbs. It's another step toward healing, like the salve and sleep. You think about plants. The wise woman's garden is full of them: mint, sage, lavender, and more. She picks them fresh or dries them for winter. Each plant has a job, like fixing coughs or calming fevers. You've helped her gather them, walking to the forest for wild herbs. It's fun, like a treasure hunt, but it's also serious. Those plants are the village's medicine, keeping everyone healthy. You smell the fire now, its smoky scent filling the cottage. It's small but warm, keeping the chill away. You're glad for it. Being cold makes you feel worse. The fire's glow lights the walls, showing the woven straw and mud. Your home is simple, but it's yours, a safe place to heal. You feel grateful even if you're sick. You hear your father outside talking to a friend. He's worried about you but says you're strong. His voice is low, like he doesn't want to wake you. You smile, knowing he believes in you. Family is part of healing, too. Their love gives you courage. You want to get better for them, to work in the fields again and laugh together. The village believes in charms and prayers together. The wise woman might say a special word over your salve, asking God to make it strong. You wear a small stone necklace, blessed by the priest, for protection. These things aren't just for sickness, they're for hope. You touch the stone now, feeling its smooth shape. It's like a reminder that you're not alone. You think about the church's role. When someone's very sick, the priest visits, praying over them. He brings holy water, sprinkling it on their head. It's a ritual showing God's care. You've seen it help people feel peaceful, even if they don't get better. The church and the wise woman work together, mixing faith and herbs to heal the village. You hear a bird again, singing outside. Its song is cheerful, like it's telling you to keep going. The village is full of life, and you want to be part of it again. Sickness is a pause, not a stop. You know you'll heal with the wise woman's help, your family's love, and God's watch. Sleep is your friend, pulling you closer to that day. You smell the salve again, its minty scent strong. It's working, easing your chest. You breathe deeper, feeling the air move easier. The pain is still there, but it's softer now. You thank the wise woman in your mind, amazed at her skill. Healing is like a journey, and you're moving forward step by step. You think about the future. You want to run in the fields, help your mother cook, and sing at festivals. Sickness makes you appreciate those things more. You promise yourself to be careful, not to work too hard in the rain or cut your hand on a tool. The village needs you strong, and you want to be ready. You hear the church bell, soft and far away. It's the evening bell telling the village to rest. You feel sleepy, your body heavy. The salve, the tea, the soup, and the prayers are all helping. You close your eyes, picturing the church's candles and the wise woman's smile. Sleep comes gently like a wave, carrying you to a place where pain is gone and healing grows. Your family counts on you to do your job. If you're a man, you grab a plow and head to the fields, pushing it through the dirt to make rows for seeds. If you're a woman, you sit by a wooden churn, moving a stick up and down to turn milk into butter. These tasks come from old ways passed down from parents to kids. Being a boy or girl, young or old, decides what you do in this medieval village, long ago between the years 1000 and 1500. But even with these rules, you find little moments of joy, like laughing with your kids or braiding your daughter's hair. Working together makes your family strong, and at night you all sleep soundly, cozy and close, feeling safe because you're a team. You live in a small village with muddy paths and houses made of mud and straw. Your family shares a tiny cottage, just one room with a dirt floor and a fire pit. The air smells like smoke and fresh hay. You hear chickens clucking outside and a baby crying nearby. Everyone in the family has a job and you learn it early. Boys follow their fathers to the fields, learning to plant wheat or herd cows. Girls stay with their mothers, stirring pots or sewing clothes. These jobs are important. They keep the village fed and warm. You're a girl, so your day starts by helping your mother. You grab a wooden bucket and walk to the well, a stone circle where water comes from. The path is soft with mud and you step carefully so you don't slip. At the well, other women chat, their buckets clanging. You pull the rope, feeling the heavy bucket rise. Water sloshes inside, cold and clear. You carry it home, your arms aching but proud. This water is for cooking, drinking, and washing. Your mother smiles, saying you're a big help. That makes you feel tall, even if the work is hard. Back at the cottage, you help make breakfast. You stir oats in a clay pot over the fire, making porridge. The oats bubble and the smell is warm like a hug. Your little brother watches, his eyes big. You let him stir, guiding his small hand. He giggles and you laugh too. These moments are your freedom, a chance to be silly even with work waiting. Your mother cuts bread, a hard loaf of rye, and you all eat together on a wooden bench. The bread is chewy, and the porridge fills your belly. Family meals are special, tying you closer. Your father is in the fields, plowing with a wooden tool pulled by an ox. He's strong, his hands rough from years of work. Boys learn from him, like your older brother, who's out there now, guiding the ox. Plowing is a man's job because it's heavy and takes muscle. You've seen them work, their faces sweaty under the sun. They dig rows for crops like barley or peas, which feed the village. Your brother wants to be like your father, proud and tough. You admire them, even if your work is different. You're expected to churn butter today. You sit by a wooden churn, a tall bucket with a stick called a plunger. You push the stick up and down, turning cream into butter. It's slow and your arms get tired. The cream slaps inside, a soft sound that mixes with the fire's crackle. Your mother shows you how to keep a steady rhythm. Good butter makes good meals, she says. You nod, wanting to do it right. Butter is used in cooking or spread on bread, and sometimes you trade it at the market. It's a woman's job, learned from mothers and grandmothers. You think about roles. Boys and men work outside in fields or with animals. They plow, plant, harvest, and fix things like fences or carts. Girls and women stay closer to home, cooking, cleaning, or making things like butter or cloth. Kids help too. Boys carry water or herd goats, while girls sweep the floor or feed chickens. Old people, like your grandmother, tell stories or mend clothes, their hands slow but wise. Everyone's job fits together like a quilt sewn from different patches. You hear your little sister singing outside. She's feeding the chickens, tossing grain from a basket. Her voice is high and happy, making you smile. You call her in to help with the butter. She's small, but she tries, pushing the churn with both hands. You laugh when she makes a funny face, her tongue sticking out. These moments are what make work fun. Even if you're supposed to churn butter, you can still play a little, finding joy in the rules. Your grandmother sits by the fire, sewing a torn shirt. Her fingers are slow, but she knows every stitch. She tells you stories about when she was young, churning butter just like you. Work makes us strong, she says, her eyes twinkling. You listen, feeling close to her. Grandparents are special. They teach you the old ways and make you feel part of a long line of family. You want to make her proud, so you churn harder. You think about your father and brother in the fields. They're cutting hay today, piling it high to feed animals in winter. It's hot work and you know they're sweaty. You plan to bring them water later, a cool jug from the stream. Helping them feels good even if it's not your job. Family means sharing tasks, not just doing your own. You picture them smiling when you arrive, their faces red but happy. The village expects everyone to follow their role. Men don't cook and women don't plow, it's just how things are. But you find ways to be yourself. When you braid your sister's hair, you add a flower, making her giggle. It's a small thing, but it's yours. Or when you tell your brother a funny story, making him laugh after a long day. These are your freedoms, little sparks of joy in a world of rules. You hear the church bell ring, a loud clang from the stone building in the village center. It's time for midday prayers. Your family stops work to pray, kneeling by the fire. You say a simple prayer, asking God to keep everyone safe. The church is part of family life, teaching you to be good and work hard. You like praying together. It feels like a team hug, even if you're all tired. Your mother starts cooking lunch, a soup with onions and peas. You help chop vegetables, your knife cutting through soft carrots. The smell fills the cottage, warm and rich. Cooking is a woman's job, but it's also love. You know your father and brother will come home hungry, and this soup will make them strong. You stir the pot, feeling proud to help feed your family. You think about kids in the village. They have roles, too. Your little brother helps your father, carrying small tools or fetching water. Your sister feeds animals or sweeps the floor. Even bobbies are part of it. When they grow, they'll learn their jobs. You remember being small, watching your mother and wanting to be like her. Now you teach your sister, showing her how to churn or sew. Family is like a chain, each person learning from the one before. You see your neighbor's family outside. The father is fixing a cart, his son handing him nails. The mother weaves a basket, her daughter copying with smaller reeds. They work together like your family, each person doing their part. You wave and they wave back, their smiles bright. The village is full of families, all following the same rules but finding their own happiness. You hear your father's voice. He's back from the fields, calling your name. You run outside, seeing him and your brother, their clothes dusty. You bring them water and they drink deeply, thanking you. Your father ruffles your hair, saying you're growing strong. You feel warm inside, like his words are a gift. Family makes work mean more. It's not just for you, but for them. You think about nighttime. After work, your family gathers in the cottage. You eat soup or bread, sitting close by the fire. Your grandmother tells a story about a clever fox and everyone laughs. Then you pray, thanking God for the day. You all sleep in the same room on straw beds with wool blankets. The sound of your family breathing, soft and steady, makes you feel safe. Sleep is better because you're together, your work and love tying you close. You go back to churning butter. The rhythm is steady now and the cream is turning thick. Your sister claps, excited to see it change. You let her try again, guiding her hands. Teaching her is fun, like passing a secret. You know she'll churn butter one day, just like you, and that makes you feel part of something big. Family roles are rules, but they're also a story, connecting you to the past and future. You hear kids playing outside, their laughter loud. They're done with chores, tossing a ball made of rags. You wish you could join, but you have work. Still, you smile, knowing you'll play with them later. Family gives you duties, but it also gives you fun. After churning, you might run with your sister or tell jokes with your brother. These moments are your freedom, making the day brighter. Your mother calls you to help with sewing. A blanket is torn and you sit by her threading a needle. She shows you how to make small stitches neat and strong. Sewing is a woman's job, like cooking or churning. You like it, it's quiet work and you can talk while you do it. Your mother tells you about her mother, who sewed by candlelight. You feel close to her, like you're sewing her stories into the blanket. You think about men's work. Your father and brother build things too, like fences or sheds. They use axes and hammers, their hands tough from cutting wood. You've watched them, amazed at their strength. They don't sew or cook, just like you don't plow or chop logs. These rules keep the village moving, everyone doing what they're best at. But you still share, your father eats your soup, and you sleep under the roof he built. You see your grandmother feeding the fire, adding a small stick. She's too old to churn or cook, but she helps in her way. She watches your sister or mends socks. Old people have roles too, sharing wisdom and keeping the family strong. You love her stories, they make you feel like you know your ancestors, people who worked and loved just like you. You hear the village waking up more. Carts creak, animals bleat, and people shout hellos. Your family is part of this bigger world, each person's job helping the whole village. You churn butter for your family, but it might be traded for a neighbor's eggs. Your father's crops feed others, too. Family roles are like threads, weaving everyone together. You think about love. Family is work, but it's also care. Your mother brushes your hair, your father carries your sister when she's tired, and you share your bread with your brother. These small things make the rules feel softer. You follow your role, but you also find ways to show you care, like singing with your family or hugging your grandmother. The day moves on and you keep working. You finish the butter, a soft yellow lump that smells rich. You wrap it in cloth, proud of your job. Later you'll help cook, clean, or fetch water, all women's tasks. But you'll also laugh with your family, tell stories, and pray together. These moments make your role more than work, they make it love. At night, when you sleep close to your family, you feel their warmth, and rest comes easy, a comfort you all share. You lie in your straw bed at night, the air cool and smoky from the fire. Suddenly, a bell rings, slow and deep, from the village church. It's a sad sound, telling everyone a neighbor has died. The toll makes you think about how life in this medieval village long ago between the years 1000 and 1500 doesn't last forever. When someone dies, they're buried in the churchyard with a simple wooden cross, and the priest says prayers while sprinkling holy water. You wonder what you'll leave behind when your time comes, maybe a field full of strong crops or the happy memory of your child's laughter. For peasants, sleep is like practicing for heaven, a quiet moment when you feel close to God, safe in His love. You're a peasant living in a small village with muddy paths and houses made of mud and straw. The church, a stone building with a tall bell tower, is the heart of the village. It's where people go to pray, celebrate, and say goodbye to those who die. The bell's sound tonight is heavy, like a stone in your chest. You know it means someone's life has ended and the village will gather soon to honor them. You pull your wool blanket tighter, thinking about life and what comes after. The village is quiet now, except for the bell. You hear a dog bark and the soft rustle of wind through the straw roof. The air smells like smoke and damp earth. You think about your neighbor, an old man who worked in the fields. He was kind, always sharing his apples with kids. Now he's gone and you feel sad but also curious. What happens after death? The church says good people go to heaven, a beautiful place with no pain. You hope that's true for him. When someone dies, the village stops to remember them. The priest leads a funeral, a special time to say goodbye. You've been to one before, standing in the churchyard with your family. The ground is soft and a hole is dug for the body. The priest prays, his voice calm, asking God to welcome the person to heaven. He sprinkles holy water from a small metal cup, the drops sparkling in the sun. A wooden cross is placed in the dirt, marking the spot. You like the cross, it's simple but strong, like the person it honors. You think about legacy, the things you leave behind. Your neighbor left a garden full of herbs and a son who knows how to farm. You want to leave something too. Maybe it's a field of wheat that feeds the village or a story your kids tell about you. You work hard every day, plowing dirt or weaving cloth, hoping it matters. The church says your work and kindness are your legacy, pleasing God. You want to believe that, so you try to be good, even when life is tough. You hear the bell stop, leaving a heavy silence. The village feels different tonight, like it's holding its breath. You know tomorrow people will gather at the church, wearing their best clothes to pray for your neighbor. You'll go too, standing with your family, singing a soft hymn. The hymn is slow, like a lullaby, helping everyone feel calm. You like singing, it makes you feel close to the person who died, like they're still part of the village. You think about heaven. The priest says it's a place of light, with golden fields and no hunger. You picture it when you sleep, imagining a warm, peaceful place. Sleep is special for peasants, it's like a small taste of heaven. When you close your eyes, the worries of the day fade and you feel safe, like God is holding you. You hope death is like that, a long sleep where you wake up in a better world. You remember your grandfather's funeral. He died when you were small and you stood by his grave, holding your mother's hand. The priest said he was with God and you left a flower on the dirt. You still visit his cross sometimes, a weathered piece of wood by the church. It makes you feel close to him, like he's watching you grow. You want your kids to feel that way about you one day, remembering your love. The cottage is dark now, lit only by the fire's glow. You hear your family breathing, soft and steady as they sleep. You think about them, your parents, siblings, maybe your own kids. You work for them, planting crops or cooking meals so they can live well. Your legacy is in their smiles, their strength, their stories. You want them to remember you as someone who cared, who made the village better. You think about the church's teachings. The priest says life is short, but heaven is forever. You try to follow God's rules, be kind, work hard, help others. If you do, you'll go to heaven when you die. The church has pictures on its walls, painted with bright colors, showing Jesus and angels. One picture shows heaven, with people smiling under a golden sky. You look at it every Sunday feeling hopeful. It makes death less scary, like a door to a new home. You hear a soft wind outside, rustling the trees. The village is calm, but the bell's echo stays in your mind. You think about how everyone dies, old people, young people, even babies sometimes. It's sad, but the church says death is part of God's plan. You pray for your neighbor, asking God to take him to heaven. Prayer is like a bridge, connecting you to the dead and to God. It helps you sleep, knowing you've done something good. You think about the graveyard. It's next to the church, a quiet place with wooden crosses and wildflowers. You walk there sometimes, seeing names carved on the wood. Some crosses are old, leaning from years of rain. You like the graveyard, it's peaceful, like the dead are resting. You imagine your own cross one day with your kids leaving flowers. The thought makes you want to live well, so your name means something. You hear a bird chirp even though it's night. It's a small sound, like a reminder that life goes on. The village will wake tomorrow and people will work, laugh, and pray, even with sadness. You admire that strength. Death is hard, but the village keeps moving like a river flowing around a rock. You want to be part of that, leaving a legacy of hard work and love. You think about your daily work. You plow fields, feed chickens, or sew blankets, depending on if you're a boy or girl. Every task is a step towards something lasting. A good harvest feeds your family for years. A warm blanket keeps your kids cozy. You hope they'll remember you when they eat the bread you grew or wrap up in the cloth you made. Your legacy is in these small things, built day by day. You see the fires glow on the cottage walls, showing the woven straw and mud. Your home is simple, but it's full of love. You think about your parents who taught you to work and pray. Their legacy is in you, in the way you plant seeds or sing hymns. You want to pass that to your kids, teaching them to be strong and kind. Family is your biggest legacy, a chain that keeps going. You hear your mother stir, her blanket rustling. She's awake, maybe thinking about the neighbor, too. You want to comfort her, but you stay quiet, letting her rest. Tomorrow you'll help her cook or carry water, showing you care. Family makes death easier. You share the sadness like you share bread. You know they'll honor you when you're gone, just like you honor your neighbor now. You think about funerals. They're simple but beautiful. The village gathers, standing close in the churchyard. The priest prays and people sing, their voices blending. Someone might leave a stone or a flower on the grave, a gift for the dead. You've done that, placing a smooth pebble on a friend's grave. It feels good, like saying, I remember you. Funerals tie the village together, making everyone feel close, even in sorrow. You smell the straw under you, dry and earthy. It's your bed, cozy with a blanket. Sleep is coming and you welcome it. The church says sleep is like death, a time to rest in God's arms. You believe it, especially tonight when the bell's toll is fresh. You close your eyes, picturing heaven's golden fields. Sleep is a promise that death isn't the end, just a new beginning. You think about stories. Your grandmother told you about her father, a farmer who planted a big field that still grows wheat. His legacy is in that field, feeding the village years later. You want a story like that, maybe about a fence you built or a song you taught your kids. Stories are a legacy, keeping you alive in people's hearts. You tell your kids stories now, hoping they'll tell them too. You hear a soft creak as your father turns in his sleep. His breathing is deep, like he's already dreaming. You think about his legacy, strong fields, a sturdy house, a family that loves him. You want to add to that, making the cottage better or growing more crops. Death makes you think about these things, pushing you to work harder and love deeper. You think about the afterlife. The church says bad people go to a dark place, but good people go to heaven. You try to be good, helping neighbors and praying every day. You hope God sees your heart, not just your mistakes. The afterlife is like a big sleep, peaceful and forever. You picture it when you're tired after a long day in the fields. It makes death feel less heavy, like a friend waiting. You see the fire flicker, its light dancing on the ceiling. The cottage feels safe, even with sad thoughts. You think about your neighbor's family grieving tonight. You'll visit them tomorrow, bringing bread or a kind word. The village helps each other, even in death. That's a legacy, too, a community that cares. You want to be part of it, leaving kindness behind. You hear a night bird hoot, its call soft and far away. The village is asleep now, wrapped in quiet. You feel sleepy, too, your body heavy. The bell's toll is a memory, but it's not scary anymore. Death is part of life, like planting or harvesting. You pray a small prayer, asking God to watch over your neighbor and your family. Then you let sleep come, like a gentle wave, carrying you to a place of peace. Your hands hold a small knife, and you're carving a wooden spoon from a piece of oak. Each slice of the blade makes a soft curl of wood fall to the ground, and you smile as the spoon's shape appears. This isn't just work, it's making something new, something useful. You're in a medieval village, long ago between the years 1000 and 1500, where every basket you weave or tool you shape feels like a gift to your family. The knife in your hand, worn smooth by your father's father, connects you to the past. Creating things gives your day meaning, and when night comes, you sleep deeply, your hands tired but happy from a job well done. You're a peasant, living in a village of muddy paths and houses with straw roofs. The air smells like fresh dirt and smoke from cooking fires. You hear chickens clucking and a cart creaking nearby. Your life is full of tasks, planting crops, feeding animals, or fetching water, but crafting is special. It's when you turn wood, wool, or straw into things the village needs, like spoons, blankets, or baskets. These creations make you proud, like you're adding a piece to the village's story. You sit outside your cottage, a small house made of mud and sticks. The sun is warm and a soft breeze carries the scent of wildflowers. You're carving the spoon, your knife moving carefully to shape the handle. The wood is smooth, its grain like tiny waves under your fingers. You think about how this spoon will stir soup or scoop porridge, helping your family eat. Every cut feels important, like you're building something that lasts. You hum a quiet tune, feeling calm as the spoon takes form. The village is full of crafts. Across the path, a woman weaves a basket from long reeds. Her fingers twist the straw, making a tight, strong shape. Baskets hold eggs, vegetables, or tools, and she's good at making them. You wave and she smiles, her hands busy. Nearby, a man hammers iron at the blacksmith's shop, shaping a horseshoe. Sparks fly and the air smells sharp, like burning metal. His work helps horses walk and plows dig. Everyone's craft is different, but they all help the village stay strong. You think about tools. Your knife is small but sharp, passed down from your grandfather. It's more than a tool, it's a memory, connecting you to people long gone. The woman weaving uses a loom, a wooden frame that holds threads tight. The blacksmith has a heavy hammer and a hot fire. Each tool carries history, used by hands before yours. You hold your knife tighter, feeling its weight. It's like a friend helping you create something good. You finish the spoon's bowl, the part that holds food. It's smooth and round, perfect for eating. You sand it with a rough stone, making it soft to touch. You imagine your sister using it, giggling as she eats porridge. That thought makes you happy. Crafting isn't just making things, it's making life better for people you love. You set the spoon aside, proud of your work, and think about what to make next. You decide to weave a mat for the cottage floor. You grab a pile of dried rushes, long grass from the stream. You sit by the door, twisting the rushes together, your fingers quick and steady. The mat will keep the dirt floor clean and warm under your feet. You weave in a pattern, crossing the grass to make it pretty. The work is slow, but you like seeing the mat grow. It's like painting with straw, creating something from nothing. You hear a kid laugh nearby. It's your neighbor's son carving a toy boat from a stick. He's learning just like you did. Kids in the village start crafting early, watching their parents. Boys learn to whittle wood or fix carts, while girls spin wool or sew cloth. You remember your mother teaching you to weave, her hands guiding yours. Now you're good at it, and you'll teach your own kids one day. Crafting is a chain, linking families through time. You think about meaning. Making things gives your day a purpose. When you plant crops, you feed the village, but when you carve a spoon, you feel like an artist. The spoon is yours, shaped by your hands, your ideas. You can make it plain or add a little design, like a line on the handle. These choices are small, but they're yours and they make work fun. At night, when you sleep, you dream of your creations, knowing they matter. You see a woman spinning wool across the path. She sits on a stool, turning fluffy wool into thread with a wooden spindle. The thread will become cloth for clothes or blankets. Her hands move fast, like a dance. You admire her skill. It's different from carving, but just as important. She catches your eye and nods, proud of her work. The village is like a big workshop, everyone making something to share. You hear the blacksmith's hammer again, a loud clang that echoes. He's making a plow blade now, his face red from the fire's heat. Plows help farmers like your father dig fields, growing food for everyone. You think about how your spoon and his plow are connected. One helps eat, the other helps grow. Crafting ties the village together, each person's work helping the others. You feel part of something big, and it makes your mat weaving feel special. You smell the rushes you're weaving, fresh and grassy. They remind you of the stream where you cut them, its water clear and cold. Crafting uses the earth's gifts, wood, straw, wool, or iron. You're grateful for these things, knowing they come from the land. You weave faster, wanting the mat to be strong and pretty. It's not just for your cottage, it's a way to say thank you to the world around you. You think about other crafts. Your mother sews clothes, her needle flashing through cloth. She makes tunics for you and your siblings, patching holes when they tear. Your father builds fences, hammering wooden posts into the ground. Each craft takes skill learned over years. You're still learning, but you're getting better. Yesterday you carved a bowl and your mother said it was perfect. That made you glow inside, like the sun was in your chest. You hear a cart roll by, its wheels creaking. A man pushes it, carrying baskets to the market. Some are yours, woven last week. You smile, knowing your work will help trade for salt or a new pot. Crafting isn't just for your family, it's for the village too. Your baskets hold eggs or grain, making life easier for everyone. You weave the mat tighter, wanting it to be just as good. You think about sleep. After a day of carving or weaving, your hands are sore, but your heart is full. You lie on your straw bed, the cottage dark except for the fire's glow. Sleep comes easily, like a warm blanket. It's your reward for working hard, for creating things that matter. You dream of spoons and mats, of the village using your crafts. Sleep feels good, like God is happy with your day. You see a kid run by, carrying a wooden toy your father made. It's a horse, carved with a little saddle. The kid laughs, galloping it through the air. You love seeing crafts bring joy. Your father's toys, your mother's blankets, your spoons, they're more than things. They're love shaped into something you can hold. You weave the mat with extra care, wanting it to make your family happy too. You hear a woman singing softly. She's kneading bread dough, her hands covered in flour. The song is about a weaver making cloth for her kids. It's a reminder that crafts are stories telling who you are. Your spoon and mat are your stories, showing you're strong and clever. You hum along, feeling connected to the village's creators, all making things with care. You smell wood shavings from your spoon scattered on the ground. Their tiny curls, light and fresh. You sweep them up, saving them for the fire. Nothing is wasted in the village. Every bit of wood, straw, or wool becomes something. You like that, knowing your crafts use the earth wisely. It makes your work feel bigger, like you're part of nature's plan. You think about teaching. One day you'll show your kids how to carve or weave. You'll guide their hands like your parents did for you. Passing on crafts is like passing a flame. It keeps the village alive. You imagine your daughter weaving a mat, her fingers quick, or your son carving a spoon, his knife steady. That's your legacy, not just the things you make, but the skills you share. You see the sun climb higher, warming the village. People are busy, hammering, sewing, spinning, or carving. The village is a hum of creation, everyone shaping something. You feel proud to be part of it, your mat growing under your hands. Crafting is hard work, but it's also joy, giving you a reason to wake up each day. At night, when you sleep, you'll rest knowing you made something good. You stand in a field, feeling a cool autumn breeze brush your face. The sky above the village is clear, but it's changing, like it always does with the seasons. Golden leaves fall from trees, twirling to the ground, and you shiver in your wool tunic. The earth is the boss here in this medieval village, long ago between the years 1000 and 1500. Spring brings floods that soak the fields, summer has dry days that crack the dirt, and winter's cold bites your fingers. You spot a hare, quick and brown, racing through the cut stalks of wheat. It's a sign that nature is in charge, no matter how hard you work. Being close to the land with its seasons matching your own life's ups and downs makes sleep feel special, like a quiet moment to rest with the earth. You're a peasant living in a village of muddy paths and houses with straw roofs. The air smells like crisp leaves and damp soil today. You hear birds chirping and a cow mooing nearby. The land around you, fields, forests, and streams, shapes everything you do. You grow food, care for animals, and build your life with what nature gives. The seasons tell you when to plant, harvest, or stay warm, like a big calendar in the sky. You love the earth even when it's tough, because it's your home. It's autumn now, and the fields are golden and brown. The wheat is cut, leaving short, spiky stalks called stubble. You're gathering leftover grain, bending to pick up stray bits for the animals. The breeze is chilly, and you pull your tunic tighter. Leaves from oak trees float down, landing in piles. You kick them, smiling as they crunch under your leather shoes. Autumn is busy. Everyone's harvesting crops, picking apples, or storing food for winter. You like this season. It feels alive, like the earth is getting ready to rest. You look at the sky, bright blue with a few fluffy clouds. The weather matters a lot. If it rains too much in spring, the fields flood and seeds wash away. If summer is too dry, plants wilt and you worry about food. Winter's snow can trap you inside, but it also waters the ground for spring. You watch the clouds, hoping they stay light today. A big rain could make the paths muddy and slow your work. Peasants always watch the sky, like it's a friend who might help or trick you. You hear a stream nearby, its water bubbling over rocks. It's small but important, giving the village water to drink, wash, or soak crops. You walk to it, your bucket banging against your leg. The water is cold and clear, sparkling in the sun. You fill the bucket, feeling its weight pull your arms. A frog jumps from a rock, splashing, and you laugh. Nature is full of surprises, like animals, plants, and bugs, all living with you. You feel close to them, like they're part of your family. You think about spring. It's a wet season with rain that makes the ground soft. You plant seeds then, pushing them into the dirt with your fingers. The fields turn green and flowers bloom yellow, purple, and white, but spring can be tricky. Last year, a big flood covered the fields and you lost some crops. You prayed for sun and it came, saving the rest. Spring feels hopeful, like the earth is waking up, just like you do each morning. You see a squirrel scamper up a tree, its tail fluffy. It's collecting nuts for winter, just like you're collecting grain. Animals know the seasons, too. Birds fly away when it gets cold, then come back in spring. Cows grow thick fur for winter and frogs hide in the mud. You admire their smarts. They don't need a church bell to tell them what to do. You try to learn from them, watching how they live with the land. You smell the earth, rich and wet from last night's rain. It's a good smell, like life itself. The fields are your work, where you grow wheat, barley, and peas. You dig, plant, and pull weeds, always with the earth under your nails. Today you're raking the stubble, smoothing it for next year's seeds. The rake is wooden, its handle worn from years of use. Each pull feels like a talk with the land, asking it to grow food again. You think about summer. It's hot, with long days of sun. The fields turn bright green and crops grow tall. You work hard, pulling weeds or watering plants if it's dry. Summer is happy, with festivals where you dance and eat honey cakes, but it can be hard too. A dry summer 2 years ago made the streams small and some crops died. You carried water from far away, your arms sore. Summer teaches you to be tough, like the earth that keeps growing even in heat. You hear a bird sing, high and clear. It's perched on a fence, its feathers brown and speckled. You stop to listen, enjoying the sound. Birds are part of the village, eating bugs that harm crops or singing songs that lift your heart. You whistle back, trying to copy its tune. Nature gives you these moments like gifts, making work feel lighter. You rake faster, feeling happy to be outside. You think about winter. It's cold and quiet, with snow covering the fields. You stay inside more, fixing tools or sewing clothes by the fire. The cottage is warm, but the wind sneaks through cracks, making you shiver. Winter is hard, food is scarce, and you eat porridge or dried apples. But it's also cozy, with your family close, telling stories. The earth rests in winter like it's sleeping, and you rest more too, saving energy for spring. You see a hare again, darting across the field. It's fast, its ears twitching. You freeze, watching it disappear into a bush. Hares are wild, not like your chickens or cows. They remind you that nature has its own rules, separate from the village. You respect that, knowing the land gives you food but also belongs to itself. You rake gently, not wanting to scare any other animals hiding nearby. You smell apples now, sweet and ripe. A tree near the field is heavy with red fruit. You pick one, its skin smooth and cool. You bite it, the juice sweet on your tongue. Apples are a treat, eaten fresh or dried for winter. You'll help pick them tomorrow, climbing a ladder to reach the high ones. Nature gives these gifts, and you're thankful, knowing every fruit helps your family. You think about the forest at the village's edge. It's full of tall trees, oak, birch, and pine. You go there to gather wood for fires or nuts for food. The forest is dark and quiet, with moss under your feet and birds calling. It's a bit scary with stories of wolves, but it's also beautiful. You feel small there, like the earth is bigger than you. The forest teaches you to be careful, but also to love nature's wild side. You hear a dog bark, guarding the sheep. A boy watches them, his stick ready to guide them back. Sheep graze on grass, their wool thick for winter. You wave to the boy and he waves back, his smile bright. Animals are part of nature, helping the village. Sheep give wool, cows give milk, and chickens give eggs. You care for them, knowing they need the earth's grass and water, just like you need its crops. You think about seasons changing. Each one brings new work. In spring you plant, in summer you weed, in autumn you harvest, in winter you mend. The seasons are like a dance and you follow their steps. They match your life. Spring is like being young, full of hope. Winter is like being old, slow and wise. Sleep is part of this too, like the earth's rest in winter. You sleep best in autumn, tired from harvesting, your body ready for a cozy night. You see a butterfly, its wings yellow and black. It lands on a flower, sipping nectar. You pause, watching its delicate dance. Butterflies are small, but they make the fields pretty. You like how they fly, free and light. Nature is full of beauty, even in a busy day. You rake around the flower, careful not to hurt it, wanting the butterfly to stay. You smell rain in the air, a damp scent like wet leaves. Clouds are gathering, dark and heavy. You hope the rain waits, you need to finish raking. Rain is good for crops, but too much can ruin them. You've seen fields flood, the dirt turning to mud. You pray for balance, like the village always does, asking nature to be kind. The earth listens sometimes, and you're grateful when it does. You hear a kid shout, playing near a tree. He's climbing, his laughter loud. Kids love nature, running through fields or splashing in streams. You did that too, chasing rabbits or picking flowers. Even now working, you feel that joy. The earth is your playground, even if it's also your job. You smile, raking faster, feeling young again. You think about the village's connection to nature. The fields give wheat, the stream gives water, the forest gives wood. Everything you do, plowing, weaving, cooking, starts with the earth. You respect it, knowing it can be kind or cruel. A good harvest makes you dance, a bad one makes you pray. Nature is your partner, and you try to work with it, not against it. You see the sun dip lower, painting the sky pink. The day is ending and the village is slowing. You finish raking, your pile of grain ready for the barn. You're tired, your hands sore, but you're happy. The earth gave you a good day and you gave it your work. Sleep will come soon, like the earth's night, wrapping you in peace. You feel close to nature, its seasons guiding you, making rest a sweet reward. You walk through the village, hearing whispers about trouble. Someone stole a chicken from a neighbor's pen, and now the whole village is talking. By noon, the thief, a young man with a nervous face, stands in the public square, fined a week's hard work for his crime. Justice moves fast here in this medieval village. Long ago, between the years 1000 and 1500, and the Lord's bailiff makes sure everyone follows the rules. You feel a knot in your stomach as the bailiff walks by, his boots loud on the dirt path, his sharp eyes looking for anyone breaking the law. In a place where rules are tough, you learn to keep quiet to stay safe. At night, sleep is like a soft escape, calming the worries and fears of the day. You're a peasant living in a village of muddy paths and houses with straw roofs. The air smells like damp earth and smoke from cooking fires. You hear a dog bark and kids playing nearby, but the whispers about the stolen chicken make the village feel tense. Trouble like this, stealing, fighting, or breaking rules, can upset everyone. The Lord, who owns the land, sets strict laws and his bailiff enforces them. You try to stay out of trouble, focusing on your work like planting crops or feeding animals, but you can't help feeling nervous when the bailiff is near. The public square is a wide, open space in the village center, near the church with its tall stone tower. It's where people trade goods, share news, or face punishment. Today you see the thief standing there, his head down. The bailiff, a tall man with a stern face and a leather cloak, reads the punishment: 7 days of digging ditches for the Lord. The crowd watches, some nodding, others whispering. You feel bad for the thief. He looks scared, but you know stealing is wrong. A chicken means eggs or meat, and losing one hurts a family. You keep walking, carrying a basket of apples to your cottage, a small house made of mud and sticks. The path is soft under your leather shoes, and you step carefully to avoid puddles. You hear a woman talking to her friend about the theft. She says the thief took the chicken because his kids were hungry. You understand why he did it, but you also know the rules are clear. Stealing brings trouble. You glance over your shoulder, making sure the bailiff isn't watching you. His presence makes you careful, like you're always being judged. The Lord's rules are strict. You can't take food, wood, or animals that aren't yours. You must work the Lord's fields, give him part of your crops, and pay taxes like eggs or wool. If you break a rule, the bailiff decides your punishment, maybe a fine, extra work, or worse, a whipping in the square. You've seen it happen, a man hit for fighting, his back red and sore. It scared you and you promised to follow the rules. Staying quiet and working hard is how you survive. You hear the church bell ring, a deep sound that echoes over the houses. It's calling people to pray, but it also reminds you of the Lord's power. The church and the Lord work together, saying rules come from God. You go to church every Sunday, kneeling on the stone floor listening to the priest. He says to obey the Lord and be honest. You nod, even if it's hard sometimes. The bell makes you think of justice, how it's supposed to be fair but feels heavy, like a storm cloud. You reach your cottage and set the apples down. Your mother is inside, stirring a pot of soup over the fire. The smell is warm, like onions and herbs. You tell her about the thief and she shakes her head. Styling, bad, but hunger's worse, she says. You agree, but you don't say it loud. Talking about the Lord's rules can feel risky, like inviting trouble. You help your mother chop carrots, your knife cutting smoothly. Work keeps you busy, away from the village's worries. You think about other crimes. Last month, a woman was fined for letting her cow eat the Lord's grass. She had to give up a basket of eggs, which hurt her family. Another time, two men fought over a broken fence, shouting and shoving. The bailiff made them both carry wood for a week. Punishments are quick, meant to teach everyone to behave. You've learned to be careful, don't wander into the Lord's forest, don't argue too loud, don't touch what's not yours. It's like walking on a thin path, trying not to fall. You hear a horse's hooves, loud and steady. It's the bailiff riding through the village. His horse is big, its coat black and shiny. People step aside, their eyes on the ground. You do the same, holding your breath. The bailiff checks houses, fields, and pens, making sure no one's breaking rules. If he finds a problem, he reports it to the Lord, who lives in a big stone manor on a hill. You don't want his attention, so you keep chopping carrots, pretending you don't see him. You think about the manor. It's tall and strong, with walls that glow in the sun. The Lord lives there, eating fancy food like roasted meat and drinking wine. You eat bread and soup, but you don't complain. The manor feels far away, like a different world, but its rules touch everything. You work the Lord's fields, give him your crops, and follow his laws to stay safe. The bailiff is his eyes and ears, always watching. You feel small when he passes, like a mouse hiding from a hawk. You hear kids whispering outside. They're playing, but they talk about the thief, saying he cried in the square. Kids hear everything in the village, and they learn early to follow rules. You call them in to help with supper, hopping to keep them from trouble. They run inside, their faces dirty but smiling. You give them bread to tear into pieces, and they giggle, forgetting the village's tension. You love their laughter, it makes the day feel lighter. You think about justice. The bailiff says it's fair, but it doesn't always feel that way. A hungry man steals and he's punished, but the Lord has plenty and takes more. You don't say this out loud, it's dangerous. Instead, you focus on your family, your work, your small cottage. Justice is the Lord's job, and you try to stay out of it. You chop another carrot, the knife steady in your hand. Work is your safety, keeping you busy and quiet. You hear a shout from the square. You peek outside, seeing a crowd. The bailiff is there, talking to a woman who sold bread with short weight. She made it smaller than she said. He finds her a day's work, cleaning the Lord's stables. She nods, her face red, and the crowd murmurs. You feel sorry for her, but you know cheating is wrong. The village needs honesty to survive, especially when food is scarce. You go back to cooking, the soup steam warm on your face. You think about fights. Sometimes neighbors argue over land, animals, or debts. Last week, two men yelled about a pig that broke a fence. The bailiff settled it, making them split the cost of repairs. Fights can turn bad, though. You've heard of villages where arguments led to hitting or worse. The Lord hates that. It disrupts his land. Punishments for fighting are tough, like carrying heavy stones or losing a cow. You try to be kind to neighbors, solving problems with words, not fists. You smell the soup now, rich and savory. It's almost ready and your family will eat soon. You set the table, a wooden slab with dents from years of use. Meals are a break from the village's troubles. You sit with your parents and siblings, sharing bread and stories. Tonight, you'll talk about the harvest or a funny kid in the square, not the thief or the bailiff. Food and family make you feel safe, like a wall against the day's fears. You hear the bailiff's horse again, moving away. You relax, your shoulders loosening. He's gone for now, but you know he'll be back. The village is always watched and rules are always there. You think about a story your grandmother told about a man who stole grain and was sent to a faraway town, never to return. Stories like that teach you to be careful, to keep your hands clean. You stir the soup, glad to be inside, away from trouble. You think about sleep. At night, when the village is dark, you lie on your straw bed. The worries about rules and punishments fade. Sleep is like a soft hand, brushing away the day's tension. You dream of fields or laughter, not the bailiff's stern face. The church says sleep is a gift from God, a time to rest your heart. You believe it, especially on days like today when trouble makes the village feel heavy. You see your father come home, his hands dirty from the fields. He's tired but smiles when he smells the soup. You hug him, feeling his rough tunic. Family is your strength, helping you face the village's rules. You know they'd stand by you if you got in trouble, just like you'd help them. You set a bowl for him, the steam rising. Eating together pushes the bailiff's shadow away, at least for now. You hear the church bell again, softer this time. It's the evening bell telling people to rest. The village will quiet soon and you'll pray before bed, asking God to keep trouble away. Prayer is like a shield, making you feel safe. You'll sleep deeply tonight, your body tired from work, your mind calm from family. The bailiff and his rules can't follow you into dreams, and that's a comfort. You think about the village's strength. Trouble comes stealing, fighting, or cheating, but people keep going. They work, share, and pray, finding ways to live with the Lord's laws. You want to be like that, strong and quiet, staying out of trouble. You serve the soup, its warmth filling the cottage. The day's worries slip away and you know sleep will bring peace, a refuge from conflict and fear. You stand in the village market, a busy square where people shout and laugh. Silver pennies jingle in pouches, and peddlers call out, offering cloth or pots. You hold a heavy sack of barley, its grains rough through the cloth, hopping to swap it for salt or a sharp new sickle. Trade is more than just getting things in this medieval village. Long ago, between the years 1000 and 1500, it's how you live. Wool, grain, and tools pass through the hands of tough merchants or quick-eyed traders, creating a web of deals that keeps the village strong. After a day of bargaining, you feel tired but happy, and sleep comes fast, your heart calm from making a good trade. You're a peasant, living in a village of muddy paths and houses with straw roofs. The air smells like fresh bread and dusty grain today. You hear a horse snort and kids giggling as they run by. The market happens every week, turning the square into a loud, colorful place. Stalls made of wood line the paths, covered with cloth or piled with goods, apples, wool, knives, or jars of honey. You love the market. It's exciting, like a game where you trade what you have for what you need. You walk through the crowd, your sack of barley heavy on your shoulder. The barley is from your fields, grown with months of digging and weeding. You worked hard for it, and now you want to trade it for something useful. You see a merchant with a gray beard, his stall full of shiny tools. He's shouting about a sickle, a curved blade for cutting crops. You need one, your old sickle is dull, making harvest slow. You step closer, your heart beating fast. Trading is fun but tricky. You have to be smart to get a fair deal. The merchant looks at your barley, his eyes narrow. Good grain, he says, feeling the sack. Half for the sickle. You shake your head, knowing your barley is worth more. You offer the whole sack for the sickle and a small bag of salt. Salt is special, it makes food taste better and keeps meat from spoiling. The merchant grumbles but nods, handing you the sickle and a cloth bag of white salt. You smile, feeling proud. The deal is done and you walk away, the sickle's handle smooth in your hand. You think about money. Some people use silver pennies, tiny coins with a cross stamped on them. You don't have many. Peasants mostly trade things like barley, eggs, or wool. But pennies are useful at the market, especially with traveling traders who don't want grain. You have a few coins in a leather pouch, saved from selling extra apples last year. You keep them hidden because coins are rare and precious. Today you'll trade goods, not money, but you like hearing the clink of pennies in other people's hands. You see a woman trading wool, a big bundle of fluffy white stuff from her sheep. She's talking to a cloth merchant, who offers a blue tunic for it. The woman shakes her head, asking for 2 tunics. They argue, but their voices are friendly, like they're playing. Finally, they agree on 1 tunic and a wooden comb. The woman smiles, tucking the comb in her hair. You admire her skill. Trading takes practice, like learning to weave or plow. You're getting better, but you watch others to learn more. You hear a peddler shout, holding up a clay pot. Best pots, strong and cheap, he calls. His voice is loud, cutting through the market's hum. Peddlers travel from village to village, bringing things like pots, spices, or ribbon. They're exciting, with stories of faraway places. You stop to look at his pots, thinking one would be good for cooking. You offer a small sack of peas, but he wants pennies. You don't have enough, so you move on, promising to save coins for next time. The market is full of sounds, people bargaining, carts creaking, a donkey braying. You smell apples, warm bread, and the sharp tang of cheese. A baker waves you over, showing flat loaves of rye bread. You trade a handful of barley for a small loaf, its crust hard but warm. You bite it, the taste earthy and chewy. Food is a big part of the market, and trading for it feels good, like filling your family's table. You think about how trade holds the village together. Your barley becomes a sickle, someone's wool becomes a tunic, and a peddler's pot becomes a neighbor's soup. Everyone shares what they have: grain, eggs, cloth, or tools. If you have extra, you trade it. If you need something, you bring what you can. It's like a big circle, keeping the village strong. You feel part of it, your sack of barley helping the web grow. You see a kid trading eggs, a basket of brown shells in his arms. He's nervous, talking to a trader with a big hat. The trader offers a small knife, but the kid asks for thread too, for his mother's sewing. They agree and the kid grins, clutching the knife and thread. You smile, remembering when you first traded, your hands shaky but excited. Kids learn early that trade is life, bringing home things the family needs. You hear a woman laugh, trading a basket of onions for a jug of ale. Ale is a drink, watery and sour, but everyone likes it. She's happy, swinging the jug as she walks. The market is fun, not just work. People joke, tell stories, or sing while they trade. You join in, calling to a friend about your new sickle. He shows you a rope he traded for, strong for tying hay. The market feels like a party, even if you're there to work. You think about the Lord. He owns the market, just like the fields and forest. You pay him a small fee to sell or trade, usually a few pennies or a handful of grain. His bailiff, a stern man with a leather vest, walks through checking stalls. You nod to him, staying polite. The Lord's rules are strict. Don't cheat, don't fight, don't sell bad goods. If you break them, you're fined or punished. You trade fairly, not wanting trouble, but the bailiff's eyes make you nervous. You smell wool now, soft and warm, from a stall nearby. A man is trading it for a pair of shoes, his voice loud as he bargains. Wool is big in the village.